Oof. Hey guys, what is up? My name is HALANT and welcome back to my channel. We are live and we are today doing Cloud9 versus Loud and C9 versus Loud. Watch party. We stream is live, सब कुछ सही है. आवाज नहीं आ रही होगी अभी बट अभी क्योंकि वो फालतू कुछ चल रही है.
Tem um termo que a gente usa bastante que chama joga adulto, né? Jogar adulto, que seria no caso você dificultar um round pro outro time. Quando o round tá bom pra você, seja porque você plantou a bomba ou porque você tá com vantagem numérica, a gente fala adulto, joga adulto. Que seria a gente jogar mais difícil e não dar chance deles conseguirem pegar essa vantagem de volta.
O termo que eu quero explicar é retake, como a gente fala, que é quando você tem que abandonar o bombe que você está defendendo para depois voltar a entrar, ou às vezes abandonar o bombe para ir para outro bombe e aumentar números, né? Geralmente se usa quando o inimigo tem muitas ultis, ou se a gente acha que não vai ter ninguém lá, ou que vão execar por outro lado, que vão ir para outro lado e entrar no bombe, então deixamos um bombe retake, basicamente saímos do bombe.
3v2 here, Tui's on his spamming fast enough, the Cove's up! He's gotten it to half, he's gonna sink it the whole way! Tui's is gonna sink it the whole way, and he succeeds!
Yeah, MIBR, I think they're onto something with the play adult call. I think most of my teammates could learn a thing or two about that one.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully some teams don't pick that up, though. Sentinels, you know, if they play adult, they'd have to get rid of Zekin. That would be
really
rough
sad.
for the team, you know what I mean? A lot of teams would actually be in trouble. So hopefully, you know, not too many other teams pick that one up.
Yeah, Sean, when you were working with 100 Thieves, did you guys have any silly ones, or was it just all serious?
So Derek brought in Gibbs to the team, which was just like kind of these crossfire setups, the ping pong type of thing that Calm was talking about. And then there's also like a swarm type of call where if you feel like you have numbers in an area and you feel like you can take a timing, so that way everyone's on the same page, you're not over calming, you just say swarm. And everyone's just kind of calming whatever they see at that point.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, well, I'm going to have to write down all those call-ups and try and improve myself while we take a short break. But we're just minutes away from Cloud9 versus Loud, so don't go anywhere.
C9 versus Leviathan.
Welcome back to the desk. Earlier in the show, we asked you folks at home to go and vote on a poll on Twitter about who had the hottest take on the desk. And you folks said that it was probably not me, but one of you two.
That'd be insane.
If it was me, because I'm gonna be upset.
No
oh my,
way.
How is that
Crazy.
What? Who?
Okay,
Who
well,
is
I
what is the
think this
demographic?
is interesting because it shows the community perception of Leviathan. I think us, like, sitting here in our little void in front of an LED wall, we're thinking that Leviathan is fantastic, they have such high hopes, but I don't think fans are seeing that yet, particularly from the NA side.
Did you tweet anything?
No, I don't tweet.
That's a lie.
I
feel like the audience has been manipulated.
There
Here.
might have
We're
been
just
some kind
glancing
of
over it.
Chilean astroturf with that tweet. I don't believe
No
it.
astroturfing?
I don't believe it, baby.
That is That's really sad that you guys don't believe in me. I'm a little disappointed in that one. But beyond just having some hot takes, let's see what you guys think about this matchup, because I think most people would say this is pretty one-sided for Loud. But before we hop into that, let's take a look back. I love the pictures from us. Me and Wyatt look really excited.
Actually the stoic male who invests in crypto in the center there. Also, that's like 5 years old.
Yeah, the audience is smarter than everyone but Wyatt. How does that make you feel, Sean?
It makes me feel terrible, actually. It makes me feel so bad. I'm doing worse than the audience?
That's tough.
Oh my God. I'm falling apart.
Wait, Sean, what happened? Which one?
Which ones did you get wrong?
Which ones did he get right?
I don't even remember. I had to
Sean.
pick the I definitely had to pick the boys at 100 Thieves.
Ah.
So I went wrong
I think there was
for
that
sure.
one. I think EG got me as well.
EG got me.
That's tough. Well,
I'll never support them again, actually, probably.
okay, maybe second chances are all right. We'll see if EG can get one. But what about for today? What are you guys predicting for this matchup? Cloud9, Loud, Sean, let's start with you. I saw you made some artwork for us.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did. This is going to shock some people.
I mean, this is
Cloud9.
outrageous.
Why?
Oh, wait. No, actually.
Oh.
Cloud9.
This guy's
Okay.
clever.
There we go.
I see what he did
Yeah,
there.
there we go.
Smart guy.
Sorry.
I see
Some extra
what he did
characters
there.
slipped through somehow.
Okay. Unexpected.
yeah,
Why
I
I'll
mean-
never guess.
Yeah, I mean, who could imagine? Loud, #1 world, #1 team. Loud.
#1 world?
Loud all the way.
Didn't they lose to Fnatic?
Well, that was the past.
That's
this
a
is the
different
present.
world. That's like
Wow,
the
This is the
ocean
present
or
and the
whatever.
future, maybe. So,
All right, you're a real
Loud.
transcendentalist. I love to see it. I'm also living in the moment and believing in Loud. I actually did art. I'm a little disappointed that neither of you guys
A
did.
little play button.
I didn't play a button. Oh no. All right. Well, while we get ready to get into this one, I wanted to ask you guys about Cloud9 and kind of the win conditions for them going into this one. Because, John, you were talking about the fact that you wanted to see them not try and out-strategize Loud, but lean into a little bit more how they were playing in scrims. What's your hopes?
Yeah, so I think they're going to be running against the Harbor Viper here, and they might be running a Phoenix, but regardless, what they're going to have to do in this matchup, Wyatt, is they're going to have to challenge the Harbor Wall. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors early on. You don't know if someone's going to be behind it or not, and most of these pro teams, they don't challenge it unless they're going there or they have info utility. I think Cloud9 is going to have to challenge it in risky ways today. They're going to have to go through the Harbor Wall without numbers, without enough util, catch timings, and snowball rounds in that way. And they can win. They can definitely win if MC cooks up a game plan.
yeah, Sean, I see where you're coming from. Someone had to try and vouch for Cloud9, but I just don't see it. Even if all of that is true in this moment,
On any world doctor.
I just don't see it. I just don't see it for
All right.
Cloud9.
Well,
Sorry.
the doctor's prognosis is a little bit rough for this squad. But before we start the show, we wanted to let you know that this stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers. The world, maybe even #1 in the world, trying to defend that title, trying to continue to push forward here in the Americas League. And with all that out of the way, let's get America's Week 2 started in this one. It's going to be Loud. It's going to be Cloud9. It will be a match to remember, and it starts right here, right now.
Everyone was talking about him, and this is going to be the guy to look out for.
लेट्स गो भाई, फाइनली शुरू हो गए.
Sé que el próximo partido es contra Furia, es un equipo que conozco
porque jugué 2 años con ellos y tengo un gran aprecio.
And it seems to be working beautifully, but MW0! What?
The big out and gets the ace here for Fulia.
O NZR é nosso ex-teammate, né? Na última temporada ele estava junto com a gente, é um cara que eu tenho um carinho imenso e vai ser um grande jogo com certeza.
He's in a great spot to land two with the Marshall. Closing moments of this first half, Nowser with 3.
Assim como o jogo contra a Cru, a gente sabe que o próximo jogo contra a Leviathan também, por ser um duelo meio regional ali, será um jogo difícil. Eles estão com uma line teoricamente mais forte e vai ser bem da hora jogar contra os caras.
Nosso próximo jogo vai ser contra Cloud9, obviamente. A gente sabe que eles passaram por muitas mudanças no time dele, mas isso não quer dizer que os caras estão jogando pior ou que é um time ruim.
Trying, he's trying.
Playing them will be like super fun because they're like a powerhouse team. It'll give us like a good gauge of where we kind of stand, I think.
Yeah. Oh my gosh! How? Forget about waiting. He wants to take the fight to their doorstep, and it's the ace for HALANT.
A gente está 100% respeitando os inimigos que jogamos contra e sempre estamos com o pé no chão. Eu acho que vai ser um jogão e estou muito ansioso para jogar contra eles.
Hello Westzed, welcome to the stream. How are you, bro? HALANT fanboy, वो finally शुरू. हाँ भाई, finally.
Squad faces off against Cloud9, a fallen super team looking to regain their expectations with 2 brand new players. The odds are stacked against them, but there's hope, there's a chance. They looked good in week number 1, and now it's a question of how well can you play against one of the world's best?
Yeah, that's. I mean, that is the question. That is the $1 million question. I mean, I think a lot of it does depend on the maps that they can take them to. Cloud9 have been just fierce on Pearl. If that is a map they can get through in the pool, and Loud do like that map, they could get a cheeky win there. But where else do you think they could take it, Sean, that they could maybe squeeze out a second map win?
Oh, it's gonna be so hard to find edges in the map pool right now for Cloud9. I mean, we saw Loud's Haven look pretty good. We didn't see that at lock-in, but they ran the Harbor, and it looked fantastic. We think their split looks really good. I think their Lotus historically looks pretty good. I thought it looked really good at lock-in against Fnatic, but this new Gecko comp, maybe there's a weakness there. But with a new team like Cloud9, can they really even exploit that? I don't even know.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. And I also wonder now, was this Gecko stuff a gimmick? Was it a one-off that they want to try and implement? Or do you think this is the new ethos of Loud? Are they going to try and continue through, implement this Gecko into more maps, Wyatt?
I mean, I would like to see them do it. I think Gecko is going to be busted, and I think it's only a matter of time until teams crack the code, or one team really cracks the code on it, and then everyone follows suit. And they definitely could be that first team to really do it. I think if they do continue the Gecko and have a misfire like Lotus, maybe that's an opportunity. But 3 maps of that, is that the win con? And then, you know, if you're Cloud9, like, I just don't know what the third map you'd want to pick would be.
Yeah, we'll see. The bans do start out here with Cloud9 getting rid of Icebox. Where do you expect us to land for map number 1 in the series, Sean?
I think we're going to see Pearl in this series. Whether Cloud9 opts to pick it, Loud picks it, or they just float it as a third, we're going to see Pearl here today because I think Cloud isn't going to ban it.
Yeah, and just talking as well with how little time Cloud9 have had, it's like, how do you divvy up the time? Are you working on your own maps? Are you trying to integrate your players more effectively? How much time are you spending counter-stratting Loud and trying to figure out how to take
भाई आप
advantage of
मस्त
the
हो
maps
और
that
viewers
they're
होने
playing?
चाहिए
How long has it
आपके.
been? What, 2-3 weeks since they picked up these new players versus a squad that has been together for a while. It's already shown their preparation, but they get split to start.
That is so interesting because I think Loud has some of the best ideas when it comes to their attack split. They are some of the best when it comes to controlling A Heaven in the post plant. They like to get control of A Heaven, then get the plant down with Gecko, with Wingman, and I don't see that changing, but maybe MC found some kind of hole.
Yeah, maybe. And Ascent for the second map as well. That is
Alexa, make this
interesting.
video
Historically,
light
that
brightness
has just
50%.
always been a rock-solid Loud map. So not entirely surprising.
Alexa, make
A
this
little
video light
interested that
30%.
Cloud9 is the one getting rid of Lotus. That was the map where Loud looked mortal on, and one that Cloud9 was really strong at back at Lock-In on their old roster. But they want to stray away from it here, as Loud also will ban away that Haven touchdown.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good play to get rid of Lotus right here. It's kind of unknown, and they're a new team. There's so much variance in it, and there's Pearl coming in as the third. I think both of these teams are comfortable on Pearl. If we go there, I think we could get a slugfest. But I don't know if Cloud9 is going to be able to steal one of these first two maps.
Well, let's focus on map number 1. That's split. You already talked a lot about the Gecko composition that this team is running on that map. Loud looked incredible. What do you think Cloud9 could cook up as an answer? We've seen a lot of different answers to this map thus far. The Gecko, the double duelist comps, the double controller comps.
Well, I'm going to stick to Cloud9's defense, or I'm sorry, Cloud9's attack, which is where they're going to be starting. I think Gecko is weakest on defense, and we saw a lot of Gecko in male, in mid, Sawhawk patrolling that area, and util dumping mid at certain timings. I think if Cloud9 can bait that Gecko util out, it can't be collected, that is their win condition. Controlling mid, getting the Gecko util out.
All right, well, here we go. Map number 1, Agent Select is ongoing. And it looks like Jake is hovering onto that jet. He played it some in Collegiate, but don't expect that to continue. He'll lock in the Acer here.
Yeah, so far, things looking as they looked last week for Loud. Auspis on the jet, Calzine on the sky, and there's the Gecko again. Viper, Astra. I mean, and on the opposing side, this is kind of the classic look from C9. They've always loved the Astra Breach Raze for the longest time.
Yeah, not a lot of A pressure though. I mean, typically you get that A pressure from the Viper, from the Cypher on attack side. So that tells me that maybe they're down to brawl in mid with this Gecko, right? Maybe we might see some fault line plays, double satchels up male coming out of the Raze. You know, Skybirds coming as well. This is a great comp to pounce on male, pounce on B, and really go at the Gecko.
Yeah, for Zeppa, this feels like his absolute comfort zone. A lot of people forgot about his raise, but in the first week, he looked fantastic on it. Love to see as that continues, as we are ready to hop into map number 1. So let's send it over to our casters, who I can't rent a car, but they sure can. It's Van Silly and Rivington.
Thank you so much, Mimi.
Okay.
And by the way, great job to Mimi White and to Sean. First time on the desk, killing it. Great way to start week number 2. Also a great matchup today here, Riv. We have 2 new players here from Cloud9 that played last week, coming into play and also showing to the crowd and to the fans that, you know, they're no joke. It's not Cloud9, but they're coming up against Loud here. A very, very tough opponent.
What a step. Like, the ladder didn't have
Alexa,
any
make
rungs in
this studio
between.
light
They're like,
1%.
all right, test you out on the stage. World champion test. Here we go. All right, we're going into game. We see the composition. We've heard what the desk has to say. I am also interested to see how Cloud9 approaches this. If they can break that defense of this Gecko. Sean was mentioning that A Heaven play a lot by Loud. I think when they played MIBR.
Let's go chat. Finally शुरू हो गया. चलो. I think अब कितने वाली है. C9 का ये भी चले गया जो 2 main थे भाई. The only guy I know is Zelsis and Leaf and Zeppa. Rooney और ये दोनों नए हैं. Jakus.
Just going to find a bit of information at the beginning, but still a stalemate. And you bring up a great point about fighting towards this B Heaven. Something that C9 or just MRBR hasn't done at all. So we didn't really see like a Gecko being tested into the B sites, but for C9, it seems like it might be the play to start there. The Trailblazer fake up towards the A ramp, and soon the 3 players creeping up from C9 towards B. Tweez just around the corner with the Frenzy. First contact still waiting to start here for week number 2 of the Americas. as 53 seconds are left on the clock. A Nebula being called up, recalled now for the swing out, but it's a 1v1 over there trying to close in onto Zeppa. Around the corner, it's still going to be Tui's with the first blood, but then we push in towards the A site, fighting back over on that area, and C9 rotates right away.
That if they were wondering how it would work if they didn't have that pressure on A by a Viper Cypher, it looks like Zelsis is going to be hanging around, activating the turret in mid to prevent a flank, and still is able to hold sight. So mid
भाई साहब C9 का pistol round तो बड़ा अच्छा था.
Fake it again, pull loud around, but still hit that retake on B.
भाई जॉर्जिस के एग्जाम के लिए पढ़ ले. अबे कौन पढ़ेगा? चेंज इंडिया भाई ये क्या कौन है? ये कौन किसका YouTube चैनल है मतलब?
Two is just waiting there with the frenzy.
अबे
So
साला.
that flank watch now has to come into responsibility of Leaf. Fault line from Rooney from the back of the site, just running this clock
C9
down.
pistol round जीत गई है. बहुत टाइम निकल
The
चुका है.
perfect protocols. Finally, one more to go, and it's
Oh,
C9,
nice.
the first one to answer in this series.
A dominant pistol as well. Really no hesitation to be able to get in. Zeppa
Didn't
with
expect
just
C9,
an absolute
you know?
W forward on a blast pack, but it was almost to see the reaction of what happened to the rest of the map. Zelsis is able to get timing off of that rotation going into B. Really well worked and orchestrated for a pistol round there. Loud's going to go ahead. Aspas on a shorty. We'll see where they stick this. Up towards heaven. Also watching how Loud kind of situate Kawanzin and Sadak, because you get that full combo of the sky, of the gecko. Here they actually have it from both sides of it.
On both sides amid the first pressure comes in. Sadat trying to jump around, trying to jump spot to see if anybody's going to peek through from Cloud9. But a default play, passive play. Now starting to gauge slowly behind the Trailblazer on the top.
I think quality इस पे अच्छी नहीं आ रही है.
Already here. Two on each side. At vents and also towards the B heavens.
Seeing how much they can get out of this Loud squad. So the
something that has to be now learned and identified by Loud into the future rounds once we get these rifles coming in. But as we open up towards vents, C9 moves into the A site. We'll get an open site to plant.
really neat to watch Zelsis kind of play around that turret activation. Pulls it back as the team gets the spike plant as well. And now it's a damage they can do as C9 exits before the full team rushes in here. It looks like 2 vent towards 1 back hall.
अब ठीक है. I think this is better quality.
Wingman check in. Good corner clears. Again, in just a few seconds. They have a lot of time.
Slugs just keeps running over and picking up the little orbs. Making sure they have what it takes. Another fault line to come through off the other cooldown from Rooney. Allows for C9 to move up. This is a cleanup now towards A Heaven. Sadak had low HP from the beginning.
Oof, Celsius.
Nice anti-eco for Cloud9 as they only lose 2 players.
Again, only 2 go down, which means the economy is going to look nice coming into these rounds. We'll see what kind of full buys we get from C9. 3 Phantoms across the board to match up against this buy round. Actually, they sold one out just to get full armor on Leaf here and make sure the utility is there to hit. They're going to have to see how Loud plays, I think, even slower here. It's either a super slow round or they W, and it could be a 5 towards B to start off. Where's the ultimate for... Where's Zeppa at? It's kind of far away, but they have Zelsis.
Exactly. All grouped up are C9. 1 Aura wave again in the lockdown. As that turret is watching a very forward push on a flank. So indicating a potential death ball for C9 into this B site. Orb now picked up. Fault line in. Flash the execution. But a Nebula just holds them in their tracks. Nobody's flanking yet. And C9's looking to use this lockdown.
Still pretty much full stars for Jake here. Dismissed what was in heaven. Places another one, so it looks like the re-hit will come through.
थोड़ा halfish foolish buy है. मतलब weird सा buy है अभी.
Stack is there. They're just leaving Aspas at A here to figure out if Jake is lurking behind.
There's no util left for Rooney, so the only initiation is going to be Lisa's flash, which brings it in. Satchel's also from Zeppa. B site is now open and cleared by the lockdown as a plant comes in for B main. A full 5-player retake for Loud as a flash goes in for spawn. Indication of one player for C9 to get ready on that pulse plant. On the other end, though, Loud looking to initiate back on their own flashes, dropping from B Heaven. Zeppa on the first blood, but gets quickly traded out by HALANT.
मेरे को सादक का नाम बहुत पसंद आता है उनके सादक
A lockdown and a shutdown for C9 on a pulse plant.
C9 hit the site quickly. Another retake instance as well. Sourcing information, starting a little misdirection as they back up.
क्या
and then
मारा रूनी
after
नया प्लेयर है तो
planting, the
रूनी और
important thing
जेक
is they are all set up to either
Celsius
avoid
Killjoy
or
में भी
trade,
top
do
rank
this
कर रहा है।
ping pong off each other based on
One,
the
two,
sky
ooh.
and the Dizzy coming through. That guiding light
Hi,
Dizzy combo hit
Sahab.
at the same time. Nobody was affected. Cloud9 was ready. They're thinking these things through and are steps ahead of Loud right now. Bonus round to Cloud9 there.
C9 is very
free guns picked
doing
up
way
too.
better because it's a new team. अभी दो
Money
player
is
नए
flowing
आए
for the
हैं.
attack. Trailers are coming out on the defense, and as we react for Cloud9 off what they saw, it's the fullback, and hopefully play some sort of crossfire deep inside A. C9 relentless. Fall line open up already. Out of bullets, as it's going to be an easy bait to allow Zeppa to move in for 2 entries. Trailers are spawning 2 more towards the top, stunning on this attack. The assist comes in.
Destroying by
You know, we were
C9.
looking at the beginning when we had the interview from MCE talking about how C9's looking. They're a new team, but they're looking like they're flushed out. Everything's looking really good for this team on how they're working their attack.
And you don't know that yet. He said there's not much tape to watch on us. So using that, the double-edged sword seems to be swinging their way at this point. So very early, we're going to see ults come up here for Loud soon. This is just going to be Tui's with the Sheriff here. There's a nice shot on the Zelsis, at least.
एक मार के weapon लेके निकल रहा
है. Is just too good at this point.
नहीं निकला नहीं.
As well.
I guess eco round तो
weapon
को लेगा.
Shots throughout this match. Last week to this week, the gap doesn't matter. It's like he kept playing. We'll see as we get into this next round. Ultimates are coming up. Cosmic Divide, Aspas 1 away, so the operator comes in knowing that investment can happen with the way they can fold into the ultimate next round. So this is where it either needs to turn around or could turn around for Loud, but if Cloud9 stops this, they get another few rounds to themselves pretty easily.
Rooney on his agent showing that he's not only good at shooting, but also doing great with the utility. And for this round, exactly.
Oh my word.
Loud still trying to find an answer into the first half. It comes with an operator into this round, but it starts off with a rolling thunder. Aspas is not affected. Looking up towards heaven, but misses the shot.
Op shot miss कर दिया
coming out from Aspas as they're finding close. Jake with the shorty drops CLOUD9. And there's only one more player stuck inside of the site. No way of escape.
कैसे?
Right to the throat. Rolling thunder to start it off, making sure that
अबे
wasn't close. It didn't matter. Zeppa's still up top and be heaven.
थोड़ा सा सर दिख गया उसे. इतना सा सर दिखा उसको उससे मार दिया उसने.
Impossible for the retake to happen for Loud. Unless we get lucky on some shots, some overpeaking like this.
By the way, chat अगर तुम सोच रहे हो मैं ऊपर क्यों देख रहा हूँ ना बार-बार मेरी दूसरी स्क्रीन जो है जहाँ पर चैट चलती है वो मेरी ऊपर है.
The protocol comes
like
back
TV
for a
है ना
flank.
ऊपर उसमें.
Waste on that clock.
I think breach को दोनों मिला है.
Top of mail. Here's the first drop.
अरे नहीं timing.
On the second. Alerted are the other players inside the site for C9 from that flank.
By C9 by destroying the first half.
All right, Bladestorm this round for Loud. Cloud9, however, looked drilled. They're looking drilled. This is incredible right now. Everybody is playing off the next teammate perfectly in these situations. We see just where that shot was on the pause a little after the wide swing from Zeppa just brazenly of heaven into sight because he knew the team was coming in as well. That coordination is throwing Loud off of their timing. And then you spam Aspas through the wall. That's where we saw him really be able to shut down MIBR from their defensive side once they got the op. And I think that's an important thing to focus on is that op went down immediately. The game was controlled quite a bit by Aspas's op when MIBR was, Loud was able to get that in their MIBR match. And away it goes because Cloud9 was ready.
Yeah. To talk about that game too, there was some great shutdown plays from Aspas with that operator against MIBR.
Absolutely.
And also the other nice thing about seeing Loud on a defense when they were having that op on the B site was the amount of utility that was being used around Aspas so he could get some kills, get away safely and fight within that site. But with the amount of util that's coming out from C9, it's looking nearly impossible to get any good positioning on
Right.
their defense.
That's such a good point. That the way how fluid that Loud looked to be, you know, just flipping a switch with the util they were going to use for a protocol to save each other, play off each other, was much more fluid last time. Seemed like Cloud9 is just moving too quick to even allow that to happen at this point. A lot of these rounds have been going quite fast, and for re-hit sake as well, their re-hits aren't that long of a wait. They cut sound, maybe wait 10 seconds, and you see the stars going back down from Jake, so they're just trying to get Loud a little moved around, and it's starting to be enough. They don't even need a full push or pull to a site here.
An opportunity for redemption.
Oh my word.
Nice timing came out for less. Couldn't get the kill. We see Sadak with the judge, and that's going to just keep C9 away from this Nebula at the beginning of the round. And that redemption also comes in with the Blade Storm activated for Aspas. A double push coming outside of A. So we're closing in now onto C9. C9 slowly pinned. You just need more delay now towards this B site. C9 just wants to go in with the showstopper.
Yeah.
Not even an overkill. They just want to use everything. Get the rounds in.
Really securing the round with an ultimate, right? It's just flexing muscles right now to make it into that site. It's where they've had most of their strength. The post plant, Cloud has not been able to touch Cloud9.
Flawless mat karna bhai.
Blade Storm was hurt earlier on. So C9 just looking for where Aspas is going to be coming from.
Aspas.
Passive plays.
Gas pass.
Jake playing like he's part of the figure, but gets knocked down.
Short.
Smacked by Aspas. As the Blade Storm gets refreshed. Jump spot coming out from Leaf. Aspas still weary of a push coming out from Spawn, but this clock is running down. Wallbangs coming through.
Nice.
We're just looking for the highlight reels.
Uska eco khatam karna
It
cha
look good.
Nice.
That'll probably be in there too. 6 rounds now for Cloud9. Even after the timeout from Loud, it was not able to stave off this pressure.
Usually हर बार जब भी इनका टाइम आउट होता था तो उसके बाद ना जीत जाते थे राउंड, बट ये तो और बुरा हार गए without any
coming in now from the side of Loud. So the answers, a few more here, Seekers and that Cosmic Divide. And less than Sadak to be just one off as well. Answers on the other side for Cloud9. And this operator is back for Aspas, so another big investment round, full utility all around. Now 5 towards A. Cloud9 doesn't seem to be favoring the 1-4 or really worrying about the Loud push or flank. They're moving in on the site and backing each other up.
That's a play. A fault line to a Trailblazer. Satchel through Seekers to clear out the A site. No opportunity for Aspas to get any shots coming out from the operator. Now playing from the back of the map. The barrel of the gun, a shot missing.
Another miss.
As Lip runs across for the entry into the B side as
आज
well.
उसका नहीं चल रहा भाई Loud. पहला मैप 13-0.
Well, fighting back towards the spawn. I mean, what can you really do for the last 2 players remaining from Loud?
Recon Phantom अच्छी है, बढ़िया है, मेरे को लेनी है.
Stars go down. They're just playing for safety. Again, another round that Loud is forced to just save guns. It's tough. Tuiz is going to look for a frag. They're looking for some ecos here. And this cannot continue to happen. If they buy the operator, they need to see a return on investment. They need to see the frags, Van Silly. 7 rounds now for Cloud9. And talking about Aspas, those shots need to be hitting now. It seems a little too cold for the rate of this game.
And aiming on the run by right there. Inches for the second time against Zeppa's run-in. Clearing out the heavens.
Always Zeppa.
Yep. Just slippery here on that raise.
3 pixel का फर्क
I
बस
gotta
2-3
say,
पिक्सल
for
का.
a team that we saw in a pistol round for C9, opportunities for lurks, but there's a lot of
ये
chemistry
नया
that
चीज
has
अच्छा
to
लग
be
रहा है
done too.
मेरे
You
को.
look at the comp from C9, there's not a Viper lurk, it's not a Cypher lurk that you have, so you need the communication between Zelsis and Jake as well to pull those nebulas to allow Zelsis to get these lurks. But again, it's only been needed for pistol round. The rest has been a lot of just full site executions.
Exactly.
Flooding the same way that MIBR has been doing here. You know, they were able to flood into sites. Lau was able to shut them down. But for this game here for C9, it just seems to be too much utility to handle for Lau.
Plays towards mid. They feel confident now. They'll head up to try and go for these 1v1s. This is the first time in a while, like you said, they've been playing that kind of death ball strategy. We really see a 1-3-1 across the map from Cloud9.
Oh,
No forward spaces be taken. So a different look here as well from Sadak. A slow push out, and if he times this right, that could be the play of the round if he can come around towards mid here and that turret's not activated.
Because Sadak was pushed all the way up towards garage. A full rotate comes out from Loud early with no information to gamble for a stack towards the A side. The fake's not going to work. Cosmic Divide, and it's ready for Aspas. The first blood up to Zelsis as Zelsis falls, but the rest of C9 are still moving in. Low on HP from all of the info coming out. Holding until retaliated by Loud. And they answer back on an eco. Spike now down on a 4 versus 1. Jake's going to have to try to clutch this. Here's the first one, drops back in. 10 seconds left. Has to go for that spike. The flash for the swing. It's going to be too much.
Finally, first one.
Gets the thrifty for the first point into the game.
And yeah, locking it down on the thrifty. Very nicely done. The rotation not even needed there on the push, but Sadak was able to let the team know that it was probably a focus towards A. 2 backside this time. Loud very much in position to slow this one down, and they use util perfectly to delay this take. Loud on the board. Only takes 1, right? You got to get a few more now. 5 could be how many that is. 7 to 5 is definitely a pretty common score we see on split. And the operator is back in the hands of Aspas. So eyes on that. Playing it where we have seen Zeppa blast packing instantly. So this could get tricky. They play the Trailblazer up there. Might have seen just the shoulder of Aspas there.
An opportunity here for Loud to come back as they finally have also come in, and now shots are landing. First blood for Aspas there.
Wow.
Detain is going to be Jake as Thrash comes out for an aggressive B push. Rooney trying to save his teammate, countering back with the flashes. Double swing, double fight. Not going to work. As Rooney's looking to aim lab some more. Spike is now down towards B, and Seekers also spawns the last 2 players.
C9 is doing way better than I thought. Actually,
the
Wizard
backstab, the flank, no go.
Actually, way better.
And it's Loud all over this Spike.
Loud trying something different this round.
Yeah.
A quick AO.
Zelsis pinned, cornered. A lockdown trying to push him away, but his shot from both angles. And unfortunately falls. Allows Zeppa to gain some space. 1 versus 1 down towards the sewers, as that's less down to 11 HP. And 3 players just ready to greet Zeppa across. Breaking the crosshair placement, or at least an attempt to. Not gonna happen.
Loud is getting
as
some
we were
rounds
just talking about here, Riv. They had an eco round where they had a lot of ults. It took a lot of rounds finally for Loud to get some ults in. Thankfully, they got a thrifty round so they could use an ult into a very important round here to salvage 2 rounds in a row.
And really just meet that aggression of Cloud9. It comes to a point where you have to stop playing reactive and be the one to be active.
Yeah.
So they pushed out fully to B, and that was the gamble too. Really great call there. And if it wasn't the start of the gamble that won, they probably get that play because you saw less ulting over at that A ult orb. So really wanted to direct how that round flowed for Cloud9. And now that I think Loud has that confidence, we see a little bit more pushing through and oozing out.
And it's from everywhere.
High nice match, yeah, it is.
B-main last round, this time 4 players on mid. It's time for Loud to play their death ball on defense this time around. But as they forfeit mid, C9 also forfeit B main to try to fight back on this mid control.
Yeah, a lot of space has to be regained now. So this is good. Loud actually achieves quite a bit from pushing up and making sure that that space is unknown now for Cloud9. It definitely becomes a re-hit and a task to make it happen.
Well, let's go.
Setting up here potentially. There you go with the rolling thunder into the site.
As fast did he dodge?
Kawadzin didn't to his also didn't, but still gets a crossfire with Sadak. Perfect for 2 more kills. And now with the Nebula, it forces the 2 players just to hold behind the smoke for C9. Finally, Zelsis moves in, long range for the kill, and Jake has to come in for a clutch on low HP.
Ka shot lag hi gaya.
Decides to fall back instead.
Very
I
interesting
think this is
decision
gonna
on the
go
entry for
8-4 half.
From what we've
8-4.
seen recently, just Zeppa blasting in. I think everybody looks like they took that first fight in heaven, not worrying about back, and the calls just did not come through. Loud punishes that. they get another round for themselves here. And the more that stay alive for these rounds, it's so good for Loud. They're trying to rebuild this economy. As I say that, the caster curse rings true.
Oh, no.
Well, that's going to be a hot foot.
Gets melted down.
थूक मारती थूक. अरे भैया पान मार दिया.
Rev, you got some caster praise going on, because when it was a 7-1 score, like, oh yeah, 7-5 is something that's common. I was like, I didn't look it was going to be that's to go towards that direction with how C9's been playing, but Loud are starting to fight back.
It was a monumental shift in how Loud was playing. I think they were very accepting to giving Cloud9 a lot of space in the early rounds, allowing these flanks to happen without it knowing. Now you, again, take that space. One round less goes up to A. You know it can be a focus towards B mid. And same thing with pushing mid. You know A can be ready for a big hit, back up a little bit, look for that home run shot from the opponents, and still be able to, you know, defend once it comes time. So it's really well orchestrated in how they kind of read C9 there. But again, Cloud9 for a while was just dictating how the game went. And that, I think, was a tough call for Loud to be like, wait, let's just do that too. Kind of in an essence.
And I think it's from also, I think that's why it was important, the timeout that came out here from Fraud for seeing how Loud are trying to play into more aggressive positions that avoids these fault lines that have been set up for Rooney. It allows most of these things to happen for C9. Exactly. So you play in front of it, you get these hits, it's working out. Now it's C9 to answer back. Okay, we're going to try to fault line different places or try to leverage more onto Lisa's initiation from the Sky utility that they have to allow these first hits to happen. The first map control towards mid.
Let's be honest, 7 on attack feels good.
Yeah.
7 on attack feels nice. So C9 really racking up a few more here to kind of put a little padding in.
Look better at 7-0 though.
Look better, yeah. Fan, right? You know, be damned. A big split here for Cloud9. A different look for them. Usually it's just one on that flank, but they do have both Jake and Zelsis over on that left side. So one of them I feel like is going to be left when the rotation comes through mid. And this A Heaven, I think it's going to be A Heaven stall here for Cloud9 to see how Loud reacts.
An opportunity to fight for a Heaven and go down ropes. Zeppa moving forward with the Stinger first. Pushed up by both initiators.
Ooh.
Oh, towards mid. Zedak hasn't been spotted, so he's in a great area here. Jump spot now. Jig is up. Zeppa getting ready for the backstab. Seeker's coming out too, and here's the footsteps falling away towards B Heaven instead. So no early advantage for C9, no capitalization on a rotation coming back from Sadak. Yeah, but the Seeker still allows for C9 to take control towards B Heavens.
Oh, fall damage put up.
Sadak reading this well, playing patient. Easily could have walked into a few, but Cloud9, they are working the map so well here to figure out, take space, and make it difficult for Loud to actually read what's happening. Loud may be staying safe, but I feel like C9 has the upper hand here to crush the site. I think we have a full 5v5 retake on our hands coming up.
There's no stars available, though, for Jake. So we have open angles coming out for the defense. And the up comes in, Flash trying to push him out. Jake falls. 10 seconds left on the clock. We're looking for the plant.
उसने वहां से spike फेंका ताकि
on the
वो
top
raise plant कर दे.
Molly on.
Time for Loud to fight back. Showstopper out towards screens. Zelsis gets the first contact inside fence. Immediately get traded out. And Les is closing in on A Heaven. 2 more players left on the defense, stuck inside the site. And it's the players with low weaponry. A Bulldog and a Stinger. From both the star players of Leaf and Zeppa, protecting each other, and on the other.
Leaf, bhai. Leaf
As it
ने बचा
turns it
लिया.
over, Aspas has to go for a clutch now. Flash available, not needed. Leaf comes out. And C9 answer back.
What a round!
In the half.
Again, working the map well, but when it came down to it, it did look like Loud was okay for the retake. Like I said, it was gonna be big numbers for it. Util was flying.
8-4
numbers
half,
in
8-4 half,
favor
I
of
think.
Loud here. This setup, honestly, it's the gamble that they don't push elbow. They knew the locations for a moment, what the timing could have been, and the miracles happen. Wow. Great stuff by Cloud9. Loud now pushed down to a possible 4 rounds only from this defensive side. They buy into this one. Operator for Aspas Cloudstorm to be, or Bladestorm rather, to be used. And they are getting a bit of a push again towards mid, but Cloud9 meets them right away.
One's just around the corner after shot.
Oh,
And a spray through the poison orb. Less falls, but there's still players for Loud inside mid.
I'm gonna need a tally on Jake and Rooney's through smoke shots and kills in their last 2 games. It's absurd, their timing and the angles they're firing at to get such a return on investment here with the mainly phantoms. So return fire is almost obsolete or impossible for Loud. Now the focus towards mid sends Loud on a bit of a journey to see what they can find, and they've gambled towards B while Cloud9 is ready to hit A here. Cosmic Divide comes out.
Just good enough.
Timing
Flash
बढ़िया.
pushing the op away from Aspas. Cosmic Divide as you called Riv, and C9 moves into an open site. We have an early flank coming in.
बहुत ही बढ़िया
Footsteps
ulta है
will be
इसका.
heard as Kaladzin's trying to move up for the backstab.
Timing.
Spike planted.
3 players now from Loud towards A main. All of C9 stuck inside the A site, looking to regain map control towards screens. Aspas updrafting, but not connecting with the Blade Storm. Trying to retake with the operator with the rest of the teammates. A trade-off happens from both teams. A 3 versus 3. As the spike is not planted really for C9, so they just have to win their duels.
1 enemy remaining.
Flanker doesn't work. Jake on his own. Up to halfway. As now he has to move forward. Cannot get the kill.
8 for up. I told you.
As Kaladzen goes for the defuse, and they do get the 4 rounds that they wanted.
They get the 4, they salvage the last few, but Van Silly, what a powerful round from Cloud9. I do not think Loud was expecting that, and it took them a little too long to right the ship.
Well, finally, Loud is fighting back, and hopefully the desk figured out what Loud's answer was. So, Mimi, what do you have to say?
Loud had some ideas at the end of that one, but it was Cloud9 who started so incredibly strong, Sean, and I think not only did they have some great ideas, but they played to their composition's strengths so well.
Yeah, I'm about to cut my sleeves off. It's feeling like summer in here. Like, Cloud9's looking legit. I thought they did everything they needed to do. We talked about how they were going to pounce on B a little bit more, a little bit on male, and this is the bonus. This is their first really opportunity to take the game away. And what do? They group up at B, they fake a hit here, they grab the orb, get the lockdown, and they're trying to draw this Gecko util out. They're trying to bait util out, and then they're gonna re-hit later on in the round with this lockdown once there's no counter util left in Loud. And it's just such a good game plan early on from Cloud9 that helped bolster this huge lead they built.
Yeah, definitely. What I was hoping to see more of in this half that we started to see a bit later, possibly too late, but also I think Loud only need 4. All good. Only need 4. Gecko on attack, very good. But I love these the rounds that they started to play out a little bit later, where they were using the Gecko effectively to actually fight for the extremities, to fight for B main here, to push out, take this space, and actually, you know, not only get the map control in this situation, they're actually able to get some kills on top of it, but not allowing Cloud9 to have these positions where they could set up the big executes that were winning them all of those rounds for the first half of the half.
Yeah.
लेकिन Loud का half जो था पहला half, ये जो first half हुआ defense वाला, Cloud9 played a lot better than I thought. Actually did. मतलब with especially with a new team, you know, Cloud9 की बड़ी वैसी है, क्या कहते हैं, जो team है नई आई है. Technically, the 3 of them are have old players और बाकी जो 2 हैं, those are you know, पुराने नए player हैं, those और बड़े ही मतलब अच्छे छोड़ के गए हैं, खासकर ये one of the best players in the world. चलो, but I actually predicted the half. मैंने बोला था 7-0 की जगह 8-4 होगा. 8-4. Let's go.
And then if you remember the match last week here between Loud and IBR, it was a lot of these hits towards the top of the heavens, and then getting these plans for having to whip that wingman.
Success
Does
rate.
C9 have an answer for that, or is Loud coming out with something new this week around?
We'll see. I think they had 4 successful wingman plants coming in through the round, which is actually pretty good if you think about it. Once the team starts to get aware of it, easy to stop. Looks like both will go. It's going to be a quick pickup as well in the rope room. Throw them in here for safety. A neat way to use them. A lot of times you'll see if there is a high wall or low wall, it'll be straight up. So it's always interesting to see how Sadak will retrieve that utility to be able to use again. Ready and raring. Rooney is set with the utility as a Trailblazer tries to find where Loud is. They did a very similar thing in their first round towards MIBR. So they're going to try to come up here to A Heaven and again lock that down. Second layer, drop in sight or head back to B.
Ready with the fault line is Rooney. footsteps now being heard as Loud is trying to take over A Heavens. Now gets gooped from Dizzy as the wingman comes down for an attempted plant at halfway, but it's not even needed here. Somehow all the players of Loud just fall.
I was about to pray. I was like, oh, Cloudburst on the wingman, and it's going to be ass in there. This is so cool. Oh, dear. Oh. And then, yeah, let's see it again, because that was quick.
1, 2.
Yeah, that's actually great util from Celsius. Change too, if you look at how he was placing his KJ utility, the Killjoy utility is that turret, instead of being towards the flower pot, it's actually on behind the Viper wall to watch both the A ramp and vents.
Right.
So it could use the alarm bot to debuff so much here inside the A site.
Some sheriffs coming through.
I want C9 to win, to be honest. C9.
Let's see if they can get one of these sheriffs.
CSGO के one of the legendary teams, and I liked C9 because Tens उसमें पहले था.
And he almost gets his life taken there as they try to get the spam throw through the wall.
Or like Shroud original.
Real spicy in mid for a moment, but Cloud9 hold off on going too hard there.
Zeppo is actually trying to go hard into the paint. Yeah. The flash came out from Leaf and he was chasing for those kills.
A little uh-oh.
The good old C9 way. A little bit of an overheat moment, but for Loud, it's still going to stay quiet. C9 looking for some information back into the mid-round. Starts with a flash-guided light into B Heaven that does spot at least one player from the point of view of C9 on defense.
They're grouping up with a stinger. Less
I see why they buy bulldogs, because ये जो साले pro player होते हैं इनके हाथ में sheriff ना एकदम मतलब vandal जैसी होती है. बहुत ही भयंकर मारता है भाई. One tap, two
push, however, coming in from Jake. I don't know if Jake's made a sound here yet, but that's a big call if Tuiz is able to call it.
Still came in.
One enemy remaining.
Easy kill there as Kawadzin was low on HP, and they spot the last one on the top. Jake comes in with the ghost, the assist from the flash, closing into the players of C9, but Aspas still able to get one more
कैसे जी इतने देर तक कैसे टिका था?
But that's now 2 in a row. Great pistol anti-eco once again for the defensive side, this time of Cloud9.
Yeah. Big rounds to pick up, put the pressure on to Loud here, and those rounds become so difficult. Like, you got to commend Loud for where they're going, how far they're lurking. They're getting the last bits of utility to almost get a frag, and C9 just continues to back up and play further and further away, so it makes it harder to take the site, especially on a save like that. So let's flip the script. Cloud9 did take quite a bit of damage on that round, so they're going to be on a low buy, even with the win. This bonus could be tough, and Loud is planning on it.
That's not a good way to start the round for a bonus for Rudy.
Here.
Sprayed through the toxic screen.
Rifle
still available for Zelsis. The strongest weapon that we have for C9 in his bonus. So he's forced to play a little bit of a bait and switch here with Zeppa.
Upgrade वाला नहीं. Upgrade नहीं करना
चाहिए. We're not looking to engage.
Upgrade कर भी दिया तो अब तो option मिलता है तुम्हें वो use करने का. अबे वो B पूरा छोड़ रहा है.
Trying to see if C9 is going to try to push forward. I think we're still trying to find the KG utility as well for Loud.
I think one of the effective things about having the Sky and the Gecko comp too, it seems like they'll hit a little earlier than like pressure late into this round, but the more you pressure your opponent, it's usually one person in sight. So you throw all this util at, there's nothing they're going to be able to do, and here they actually find an empty site with the fact that Rooney already went down.
The first wingman plant coming out from Loud. 4 B main, but nobody's playing that spot. Everybody's inside the site, and there's a late lurk from Les down towards sewers. 3 players of Cloud9 moving forward for the retake from spawn. Zelsis at B Heaven still waiting for this 1v1. Will win it against Les. Meanwhile, battle ensues towards the trade in the back of B site. Gravity well, coming out from C9 in the back. It works out for the stun, but the trade-off once again, and Kaldin gets 2. Zelsis looking to clutch, but gets
nice round,
right
bonus,
away by Tuiz.
Important round for Loud.
I want C9 to win.
For the game overall, they ran a lot of the rounds when they played MIBR. I think Loud is kind of finding their first time where they have to question things that are happening here. They seem confident on that round, however, versus Cloud9. I almost thought the gravity well up top was going to give C9 the round because it wasn't used for a possible defuse, but patience pays off. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, Loud, I think, knows they need to start taking a bit of more command in this game, or Cloud9 is just going to take everything away from them. Already pushing out towards B, and this isn't looking good here.
Oh!
Nice.
She gets the first kill, almost in time for Tuiz to
Kya
get the
push
first
mara
one,
bhai.
but indeed it's C9's time to play aggressive. Seeker Zen to spot information towards A main, allowing Zelsis to get the pick off the Kawatzin. One more spotted towards the A ramp, Nebula forces them back.
They're rushing now.
And in a blink of an eye,
Aggressive kill, right?
early in this
Defensive.
round, C9's up by 2 players.
Abey.
Everybody playing
Sadak.
real far back, not knowing if Sadak is going to grab one of these orbs and just throw Thrash at you. They don't know what's going to happen. See, the line of scrimmage for C9 is basically back along that defensive hallway. So really smart play here not to get contained or detained. And they'll just wait for the movement. Again, this is going to be that one of those Loud searching every cupboard and corner, nook and cranny to find a member of C9, and nothing's going to happen until they go to plant that spike, probably.
And they have to. Losing Tuiz so early into this round is no smokes for them to get into the sights. So you're right, grabbing this orb could be important, but that would give you
Winnable hai
position
abhi
away.
Loud ke liye.
So Loud's playing contact instead. A fight towards B heaven as Aspas drops in towards Hell. 2 players inside the site as players are falling down.
Short.
Les is fighting in.
3v2
14
easily.
seconds left. There's only
Land
one
nahi kar
player
sakte.
inside the site. Both players on the attack, fully blinded for the flash from Leaf. And really just playing behind the box. A double swing. And that denies everything. A 1 versus 1, no time to plant. As that was a key swing coming out from C9 Rooney.
So I mentioned it last round from Loud. It wasn't the pressure cooker, but this time they went for one of those rounds. Obviously pushed back by C9, but trying to get those last seconds to be in their favor. Cloud9 was already anchoring that B site on the gamble. Timeout here for Loud to come through. And again, we're saying Loud's being active. I'm saying Loud's taking control of things, and then Cloud9 comes flying out of B main just to grab the first one and be able to convert coming into that 5v4. Got sticky, but they found it in the end. Really fantastic play so far. Jake and Rooney still topping.
Yeah.
They are doing so well right now. No questions to be asked about them. Maybe questions to ask them about how they're feeling, because that is a hell of a stage to be on right now, but it does not seem like it phases them another day at the park.
These 2 players are definitely the talk of the town.
C9 बहुत ही अच्छा खेल रहे हैं 11-5. I think it will go. C9 will win with 13-8 win by C9.
Playing a duelist role.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what was it, Sky last week or something?
अगर Loud का comeback आया तो फिर मतलब अलग बात है, but most probably I think
tied for the most kills currently in the VC.
most probably I think 13-8 होगा.
Because I should say at 26, so.
अब मैंने पहला हाफ तो एकदम सही assume करा था 8-4 का. Let's see how
right now Leaf at 17, Aspas at 13, so they are towards the top there. It seems like Leaf Sky takes off. Did not mean that. 11-5 off this.
I liked it though. I liked
17,
it.
Round 17 as we get in. It looks like A is left open for full util. Maybe wait. So it's gonna play between all the utility as mid gets thrashed right away. There's no waiting to be had.
Just trying to clear towards Vents. Leaf looking back down, trying to salvage the thrash, but Leaf is once again there. No dancing could escape.
It's getting
Cloud
silly.
from the trap here is left by Leaf. Indeed, it is crazy. As it's crazy aim coming out from the defender of Cloud9.
Wingman भाई Leaf पागल है भाई, उसने पूरा ult करा, सब कुछ करा.
Again. And even the patience they're doing, something to mention about how C9 even defended this round is incredible. We're focusing right now on how this one plays out with 1 minute left. Sadak goes back into that vent. They try to look for a small re-hit with already the play from Les getting clearance on ramp.
C9 को लग रहा था B जाएंगे.
Came out early control from Loud on both heavens. And just hoping to punish.
Well played.
Summoning from C9 and
बहुत
they're
बड़े
able
kill.
to
Vulnerable भी हुआ,
punish
फिर मार भी
Leaf. Peeking
दिया.
out from Matt. A swing coming out from 2 players of Cloud9 as Zeppa falls. Les is coming in to fight.
Oh my.
Swinging around back in favor of Loud. They're at the
How
player advantage.
how did Loud
No
come
wingman
back?
available, so we have to commit into the plant.
3v2.
Twiz on the top, making sure nobody else rotates over. But the plant will be safe. Well, maybe not. Gravity well forces him out.
10 seconds
Now
left.
he's going to go for the default instead.
Welcome to my world.
Wow. They're looking to fully secure this round. No chances, but
Fight
again,
तक invest
Viper's
कर
Wall
दिया
will
उन्होंने।
give space too. Zelsis moving into sight. It's the damage Zelsis will take moving through is what
कि
they're
Astra
hoping for
पूरा
right
अंदर
now.
जा गई भाई।
Oh, yeah.
They're going to push onto A ramp alone, or together rather.
Spotting it through. Zelsis
Ow.
comes in for a kill if he can. Has the lockdown if he wants it. There's not too much time left on the clock. So he's just looking to make the last
Okay,
two
go
players allowed
destroy
lose their
करेगा।
weapons, make it expensive into the next. Actually, the economy is very low for both of these teams into this round, so a huge swing round. Losing both of these guns for Loud would be huge for C9 into the next. But at the end of the day, it's still a round coming in for Loud.
Title of that round, Say Less. On it, like, what a play coming in there. I wanted to mention C9's defense. We saw Killjoy playing all the way in the back. It didn't come into play, but the setup
आज
for
उनके
C9
आज
was to be
आसपास
ready
का
for
वो नहीं चल
Flash.
रहा बिल्कुल भी उनकी
Leaf
जेट
was
का ना
there to play it. We saw the Killjoy here,
एम नहीं चल
but
रहा
it didn't
ना वो ऑपरेटर
matter.
शॉट्स मार
Even
पा रहा
if
है ना
the
वो
rotation was quick
भाई
from
इसका इंडियन
C9,
टैटू क्यों है
Less just stopped it
साई
in
राम
its tracks. So all
उसके हाथ
that
पे
set
साई
up
राम लिखा है
for nothing is what I'm trying to
उस
say.
उनके
Less
मोटे
just
पे
played that round so well. Coming up on the scoreboard
जय
for
साई राम
himself too, using the ult to secure that round, so they have to look for another way to get through on this one for C9's defense. And here they come with a Sheriff round to capitalize on grabbing their own ult orbs. One away for Rooney to Rolling Thunder, Loud out of sight.
Rooney with the Sheriff.
Holy util.
Into this round or picked up as you mentioned.
क्या दिन
and
थे
that
जब लाउड
Sheriff
पे
is
वो
gonna
था
be
सासी
very deadly
टाइम पे तो पार्किंग्स
if
पे भी था
Loud wants
सासी
to work towards his B site.
एकदम स्टार्टिंग ओरिजिनल आई थिंक मास्टर्स
On the other end, C9 has that hero rifle safe in that previous round from Zelsis. Also a lockdown available for the retake.
इको
Depending how this
ऐसी
round
का बस एक
sets in
जेल्सिस
for
पे
the
गन
pulse
है
plant, could be a very important ult.
Deja vu.
Second time that happens.
Yep.
Full line, a step up.
भाई
What an assist by Rooney.
टाइमिंग
What a
भाई
counter play
असिस्ट
right there.
बहुत
If they
ही
can
ये
grab
ऐसा
that,
टीम
it's
प्ले होना
huge.
चाहिए
It almost needs to be protected, but Kalenzi gets pushed out. And that, yeah, you see Zeppa going back up to see if they can focus grabbing that Phantom.
उस
Not
शॉट
this time around. Rooney falls instantly. Zeppa long range with the frenzy. Can't do any damage at all at that distance. Another plant comes in for B main.
Obscuring vision.
Nice push by Loud. Slowly moving in to see what kind of trickery Cloud9 has set up, knowing that this defense has to be worried about. We saw even on the previous round, ultimate used by Less just to secure it. They are worried about what C9 can do.
Elite picked up a weapon. So gets the first blood for the retake attempt for C9.
Player standing.
But Sadak stops him in his tracks. Zelsis no timing behind.
जेल्सिस पिट से
So
बच
this
गया
is
वही
going to
वैंडल
secure the
लेकर
round for Loud to bring it up at 7.
Ooh.
Nice little flick by Sadak.
भाई साहब फ्लिक मारी भाई क्या बढ़िया
More
उसको
comfort from Loud here. C9 may be pushing, but Loud is also activating on a different side of the map, or at least responding much better now. Looking great as they come through full buy here. Maybe a few less buys just due to the fact that they've been losing members throughout the rounds. But I'd say it's definitely starting to even out in the way you think the rounds are going to go when you'd see Cloud9 still have quite a few ready. And we're getting those wingman plants again. So we'll see how they procure a few more of those for the crowd.
नाइस मोटो का ही था हाथ पे जैसा ही राम लिखा हुआ
Where do we go?
Engaging early in this round. Flash comes out from the bottom of the attack side. Just going to keep C9 in their tracks as they've stacked a lot of players towards mid. Loud change of pace into this round, though. Lots of progression up towards the A ramp, breaking the early utility from Zelsis.
We see a bit of a quicker rotation now from Tuis. They're not noticing a big flank, and if anything, it might be coming through sewers. So Loud is actually gathering a lot quicker than previous rounds here. It looks like they want to just get into more of an activate on-site form and have everybody ready for it. Drawing out some great util to make this easier with that Killjoy util away from Zelsis. The lockdown's going to be forced out.
Trying to slow things down.
Oh, wait!
Yeah, that's going to get stopped by the mosh pit. Nicely thrown
Shit,
here.
timing हो गई इसकी लॉकडाउन की
Still rolling thunder available for the retake. Plant comes in and Loud understands that everybody's falling out from the A site, playing towards the A ramp for the take, and it's planted for them too. It only affects one player on the rolling thunder, and here comes the Dizzy in the back, and it's still a trade-off. Zeppa still answering like the count scene. 3 players now at the top. Nice shot by Jake. Only less Entuis trying to clutch this for Loud and stay into this fight. Snakebite onto the ground. Cosmic Divide about to disappear. And it's just Zeppa on his own. Showstopper close. Lands it.
Lol.
The fuse comes
Bye.
in. C9 are now at map point.
भाई मैंने बोला था 12-8 से जीतेगी. I told you 12-8.
Really orchestrate a beautiful Gecko match with Sada.
याद रखना 12-8 मैंने बोला था.
C9 just come in looking to
भाई ये राउंड कैसे जीते? Zeppa ने निकाला है पूरा.
Huge round by Zeppo to pick up this kill.
भाई.
And be able to just shut that down. Cloud9 is honestly
3 ult यूज करो उन्होंने. Breach ult, KJ ult और Raze ult.
had together. It's almost like Loud is having trouble kind of figuring out this free-flowing squad, right? Where they're pushing. Also, shout out to Rooney on that. He did have a Sheriff grab the orb that made that Rolling Thunder possible for the retake.
उन्हें पता चल गया था Loud middle area.
No players detained as the Thrash came out on the attack to answer back on C9's aggression.
भाई Loud कैसे हार रही है इतना बुरा? I think 3 maps होंगे. Ascent I think Loud जीतेगी.
And reposition the defense on the player advantage.
Just trying to draw fights. Draw util.
Thrash available again.
But where do they use it, right? Even Loud personally can't find where these members of Cloud9 are here. Back and forth.
Can't drop it in events back up the ropes, right? So
yeah. Thrash is done.
किसी से भी अल्ट नहीं हो पा रहा वैसा वाला. मजेदार एकदम.
1v1 long range. Nice shot
shot
by Jake as he gets stinked himself by 140 Phantom to his. Answer back by a snake bite. Plant now coming down for Sadak's wingman. As no lurk comes in, no flank for C9.
3v3.
Shot. भाई.
Bye, moving up, making a lot of noise. Spotted by Rooney again. A 2 versus 1. Paint shells to come up. Makes it a 1v1.
Wait.
An ace would be perfect to keep the dream alive. As now as he swings out.
Ooh.
Comes back for the defuse. And C9
mind-blowing. Not a single person. Throw the artwork on the analyst desk away. No, I'm just kidding. They still have a chance. Let's get back at it. Split. Taken.
I was wrong. 13-7.
Last time we saw Cloud9
I was close. 13-8 se
He was calling timeouts one after the other to make sure they could stop anything that was going wrong. Were those the timeouts that they needed? That just those ones? Like, oh my word. Really nicely done by C9 here.
Oof, भाई साहब C9 ने क्या बेहतरीन वो लिया. I thought Loud is gonna win, but C9 just took it like पूरा map ही ले गई भाई. And like not even it was not even that close. 13-7. बहुत ही बढ़िया था. But I guess C9 का map भी था ये split choice, right? They chose split. अब Ascent है जो उनका choice है. So let's see what happens. अरे वाह 5 viewers देख रहे हैं. Hey guys, make sure to like, share and subscribe. रात को 12 बजे भी देखते हैं. 1:30 बजे.
Chance to play against somebody who just plays so far back against the wall, looking for home run hits the whole game, and then moves forward once the play happens. Right? It's really cool how they scaled back in to avoid or stayed out of the site. Cloud9 did and scaled back in to get back in after the utility of Loud.
So leave heroic plays, highlight reels throughout the first half, throughout the first map too. And for Jake though, play on an Astra, I think was a big one too. Not only for kills, but that utility to stop Loud on their attack, I think was a big play.
भाई ये round. आराम से नीचे गया. 1 tap और फिर वापस सीधा. Huh? What the fuck was that kill? ये बेचारे को निकाल क्या दिया, मतलब फाइनेंशियल इश्यूज आई गेस, छोड़ना पड़ गया. C9 was so good with him.
Hey guys, it's Ye. Welcome to my course on optimal Valorant training. I'm going to be demonstrating now some angle clearing. I'll slowly come around the corner as well, making sure no one's on these off angles.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives
Red
you
Bull
wings.
sponsor me. They're not gonna sponsor a guy with not even 1,000 subscribers, man. Come on. कुछ खाने को लगा.
Welcome back to the analyst desk, where some interesting things are happening. CLOUD9, a team who has newly brought in 2 brand new players, are currently finding themselves 1-0 up in a series against Loud, probably the second best team in the world. And the way in which they did that was so incredibly impressive, Sean. The preparation for this CLOUD9 squad was incredible.
Yeah, honestly, I have no idea how we got here. This is such a masterpiece that MC has put together today. He decided to go into split. This is a map Loud picked last week, guys. They looked phenomenal on it with the Gecko, and they were embarrassed just now by Cloud9, who read everything they wanted to do, including this pistol, where that smoke in heaven you're seeing, that's actually the smoke from Cloud9. That's the hard counter to the strat we were talking about in the desk. The wingman coming out of heaven, it's counter smoked by Jake. All of a sudden the wingman's taken out and the whole strat falls apart.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, just on the individual basis, Cloud9 getting 14 of the first kills in the game, and of the 6 of Loud, most of them were Osboss, but even at that, I felt like he missed a lot of opportunities. He could have stacked up more early on, especially with the operator, missing crucial shots, which usually he just never does, and also just Kawazine struggling a bit in the early rounds on that map, having 6 first deaths as well. So a rough beginning for you know, Loud for sure. Going into their map pick, you know, maybe they can turn things around, but yeah, not looking good to start.
Yeah, we kind of came into this having the discussion about like MCE maybe being one of the best coaches at development, and I mean the prep work out of him was fantastic, and the adaptation for this team was great too. But another guy who is so incredibly good throughout this series and throughout every series he's played in, it feels, was Leaf. Another pop-off game on the Sky, Sean.
Yeah, we hardly even got a chance to talk about Leaf, but he's actually trailing
भाई सो जाओ, लेट हो रहा
with the #1
है। सो तो जाऊंगा बस, इसके बाद सोता हूँ।
with Aspas right behind him.
Cloud9 versus Loud Watch Party. आ जाओ तुम भी देखो. By the way, Rodent, make sure to like, share and subscribe, bye.
I think he's going to be a key player throughout this entire America season, and alongside with Zeppa. Together, they are just so good on the rifles.
Yeah, I mean, again, it is that duo. They're just back in 2023. 2022, they were snoozing, but now they are back. Because again, it was at lock-in. Those two guys were really the duo that was making them dangerous at that event. And they have just not let up at all. I mean, Leaf going crazy that game.
Yeah, I mean, the initiator utility, besides just as an individual, was so good to set Zep up for success, to find those opening kills throughout that game. It was a fantastic job by Cloud9, but
Which
we also
team?
have to talk about the
I want
new
C9
players
to win,
on
yaar.
this team,
I want
in
C9.
Rooney and in Jake, and let's specifically start
I want, it's like, I know Loud is a better team, but I really want C9 to win. You know why? It's a very weird reason. Shroud, जब CSGO खेलता था, तो he was in C9. Sentinels, Tens भी तेरा C9 का था. C9 is a very OG team and I really want them to win. I really didn't expect C9 इतना अच्छा जीतेगी पहला मैप, but अच्छे से करा. बहुत ही बड़ा dominate करा.
This is a guy playing at the highest level he's ever played at, IGLing a team that also had moved on from an IGL who the other players trust and have been with for years in Vanity. So that is a massive vacancy to have to fill, to not only play well, get the trust of these teammates. It's a massive ask, and he is stepping up.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And that is where someone like MCE can be worth his weight in gold, right? Giving the game plan to Rooney, giving him the keys to the car for the first, 6 rounds of the game. This is something that we did a lot on 100 Thieves, is the opening part of the game, have plans for each round, each way the tree branches, right? And then the rest of the half, you guys can free flow, read the game,
राघव से बात होती है अभी भी.
call what you think is going
यार राघव से तो मेरी वैसे भी बात नहीं होती थी. We are like barely know each other. It's like हम दोनों एक दूसरे को जानते हैं, existence है हम दोनों की. बस that's it. I don't think he even remembers my name or something like that. I think he remembers my name, but like उतना हमारी बात वगैरह नहीं हुई है.
Do you think Cloud is going to continue to pick into some of these weirder compositions? You've seen them experimenting with the Viper on this map, or do they just go back to the standard?
The standard on this map has always been good for them, but I can't help but feel like they might try and bring the Gecko in on this one too. I think this map has potential for Gecko, but that does...
I'm gonna stop you right there, Wyatt.
You don't think so?
Really? I hate playing Gecko on Ascent. I hate it. And when I saw Navi do it, I couldn't even believe my eyes. I just don't like the opportunities for Gecko on this map, and I feel like, in particular, going towards B, there's just not a lot of wingman potential towards B. Towards A, I find he just gets taken out a lot of the time, and on defense, I struggle to find value with him too, but a team like Loud, they cook really well with these new comps. I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if I saw Gecko on when they
Yeah, let's go. Leave jet ले रहा है.
Yeah, well, let's see what they do pick in. You already see there that
Rank क्या है आपकी? Platinum 3 हूँ मैं अभी.
is locking in a duelist. He's heading towards
Platinum 3 Diamond घूमता रहता हूँ.
Yeah, I mean, we have not seen a lot of Leaf on duelist.
हर रोज लाइव स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ आजकल Valorant का. वापस शुरू कर दिया मैंने खेलना. तो क्या पता अभी Diamond पहुँच जाऊँ. अभी Plat 3 हूँ.
ago. But when that was the case, his jet was so nice. I mean, he was one of the best duelists in NA, if not the best maybe at a period of time. It's hard to remember, but he was at least up there at the very top. And with the form that he's in, that might be enough to just push them over the edge.
I agree, but what we're going to see from him is a lot different than what we're going to see on the other side.
कभी-कभी सोलो क्यों करता हूँ, लेकिन आजकल मैं स्टैक कर रहा हूँ 5 स्टैक अपने दोस्तों के साथ. मोस्टली मतलब 5 आजकल कर रहा हूँ, बट सोलो क्यों भी करता हूँ.
So we're going to get this bout between the Jets, like I mentioned, but Leaf is going to probably be doing it on like Vandal a little bit more than Aspas, who's going to be opping around the map and looking for those first bloods.
Yeah, I think if map number 1 was defined in a lot of ways by the preparation that was brought into this series from Cloud9, this map has to be more defined on the mid-round, on the adaptation. For me, Wyatt, this is the real test for Rooney.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it like before the game started. Where is Cloud9 going to allot their time with the limited time that they have with this roster? Is it going to be anti-stratting, focusing on their fundamentals? What's it going to be? Well, the first map, clearly, it was put time into anti-stratting, what Loud did. But now when you're just playing on a map that's been around since the dawn of time, playing with comps that everyone has played against 1,000 times in matches, you are just bringing everything back to the basics. And we're just going to see an honest game of Valorant.
एक मैच करोगे भाई, इसके बाद C9 का 2 हो रहा है. अबे C9 के बाद उसका भी मैच है ना. दो मतलब 2 हैं, C9 वर्सेस लाउड के बाद एक और है. पूरा ही देखूंगा. कुछ वाली इसके बाद सोने जाऊंगा यार.
Running a mirror comp against Cloud9, this is where Cloud9 struggle.
Yeah, all right. Well, the test is here for Loud. Down a map in a series, not a common position for this super squad. Can they come back, take us to a third, or will it be Cloud9 finding the upset? We'll find out in map number 2, Fansily and Rivington.
Thank you so much to our friends at the desk. Yes, which team could do the bitter ham sandwich? I do it with hot dogs.
No, we're not going on to food. Everything he says is you don't want to hear it. That's all.
They talked about it at the desk. The dawn of time in terms of Ascent being around for the longest time, the composition also being around for the longest time, pretty much in this year. So it comes down to potentially what Sean Garris was talking about before, Riv. The jet battle between both Leaf and Aspas. One maybe focusing more on the operator, the other one on the rifler. How does the team work around these two duelists to win the second map?
Honestly, it becomes a match of the initiators or the follow-ups, right? You're almost looking at the weight on the shoulders of who's behind Aspas and Leaf to be following up on these kills, on the distraction, the chaos they're making. We're going right in, man.
The chaos starts now, and it's
भाई साहब. अबे आ रहा है पे तो शुरू हुआ है भाई मैप.
And we're fighting just right back through smokes.
Absolutely absurd gamble to go to B. Everybody is there, all 5. The only one that was coming in through mid was Rooney, and already to be at tiles.
भाई ये क्या हुआ अचानक से?
Spike is pushed back, and Loud now have to make up a strat with 2. 30 seconds into the round.
Only one cloud burst available for Aspas, who's under pressure long range to start things off against Zelsis. And all these footsteps from Leaf. Gonna call that out. A rotation from C9 that was attempted to go from B towards A just stays planted out towards B. Funneling everybody right now towards this stack. There's still a lot of time left here for Loud to try to fight back towards mid if they want to.
Identified by the flash, like a slow play for Leaf here.
Hi, Leaf.
And the last one.
Hi, sahab.
One Leaf with 4 kills. And that's
Leaf
how you
on
start
Jet,
the
boy, is
pistol round
fucking
on Jet.
amazing.
I was, thank you, Leaf. set up a player.
अभी तो मैच शुरू हुआ था बेचारा, वो टर्रेट लगा रहा था, सब पहनने लग गए पागलों की तरह.
Incredible stuff here. And Cloud9, what an aggressive off-the-rip strategy. When's the last time you saw 4 members of a team push that hard?
On B-main, yeah.
Usually you take the B-main space, you put an alarm bot forward, and you play off the tag that the first guy gets who's standing in the open. But a new look already. C9
Leaf, let's
is
go.
going
वही यार भाई,
forward.
Leaf अलग ही है भाई, पागल है वो बंदा.
Allow a little bit of space for Loud as a B hit comes in, and Loud's looking for the sheriff shots.
Good shock dart too to break the nanoswarm in the beginning, but a recon dart to retaliate coming out from Rooney is damaging Loud. Loud's attempt to get into the site. Look how low all of their HP are in this pulse plant.
Spike planted.
Honestly, B gets pretty tricky to take, especially if you have sheriffs on the right angles. If you are in the site, and it's going to have to be Leaf again, causing that chaos to start it off, Fansily, and the retake is on.
Ooh.
Talk about that sheriff in the back. That's Aspas at both house. Underhand flash, full blinded into the site, but the cavalry
Hi,
is here for a
Sahab.
bit. Aspas still holding in the back of the side of 2 versus 2. A timing to come in. And it's up to Tuis now. One-way smoke that he threw in the beginning is now encumbersome for himself. As we're sticking onto the defuse, only one more to go. 17 HP, a fake TP, and Zelsis has to stick onto the plant. And he gets the shot!
Bhai sahab. How did
Answer back to tie up the game.
5 round हार गए?
Getting into the site, I think, was the biggest thing there. Where they could get themselves in with that much firepower, even though pistols.
भाई
they
बहुत
knew
बढ़िया
they could
map
give
भाई.
Cloud9 a very
ये I
tough
think
time to
this
get
is gonna
back
go
in. I love
like
the thought of
13-11
Play just as
या
aggressive,
फिर
right? They came out swinging
OT
just as hard as
for
Cloud9
loud
did in
for
the
loud.
first
Loud
round.
is gonna win
A
this
little
map.
bit of their own medicine, and Tui's with
OT
a
जाएगा ये
beautiful
OT
2v1
जाएगा फिर
flash.
very close like जैसे Sentinels और 100 Thieves का match हुआ.
Crowd loving that one. We're definitely going to get a game out of this as we get a thrifty already and a clutch.
Fast utility too at the beginning of this round. As Zeppa answers back with a 0 point to suppress 3 players. Long
Anti-ray.
range
And
with
nice
the
try to
Marshal
thigh,
trying to
bhai.
tag some players into the smoke. And Loud sees that, hears that, and falls back.
And they still have Sadok 0 point, right? That was full team identification smoke. What are we dealing with? Can we go deactivate Zelsis on the other side?
Rodent तेरे को क्या लगता है क्या मतलब कौन जीतेगा और कितने अगर जीतेगा तो कितने से जीतेगा?
Kalanzine just running in like he's T-1000 in Terminator. Just rushing through here towards this B side. 3 players are there, but the Sheriff. Rooney gets
Short.
the first. Looks back for a second one. Try to let
Ooh.
it the second and does. But his teammates unfortunately just around him fall. A late flank coming in from B.
C9 winning on OT. Damn.
At least from the other side of the smoke. A bait will out.
Abey.
Flicks away for the kill. Pop
Timing
flash
ho
with
gayi.
game position on to Zeppa. As we stop the bleeding. Let's
Well played.
take the lead.
Very nice push in. A little back and forth. Like I said, Loud going over towards A, keeping the initiator utility safe and sound so they can make sure it is a bit effective towards B. Why also does Rooney buy a gun? That's just a quick question I have. The Sheriffs are absurd that he fires, honestly.
भाई साहब रूनी ने क्या
just
फ्लिक
keep
मारी
going for that.
एक
It's like
बंदे
a
को मारा
headbutt.
फिर स्विच करके सीधे ओडिन वाले को उनके सोफा को मार
Talking
दिया
about that with Cooper at the beginning of the game. It's like, yeah, there's probably gonna be a
कॉलेज
lot
कौन
of
सा यार
egos and
आई मीन
fifties in this
एशियन
game
एकेडमी ऑफ
between
फिल्म एंड
C9 and
टेलीविजन
Loud.
ऑफ नोएडा
Especially again a map that's
रियान
mostly
उपाध्याय
common
अरे
to play
रियान वेलकम टू द
with the most
स्ट्रीम
common comp so
हाउ आर यू
far.
ब्रो
It just now comes down to
मेक श्योर टू
who's
लाइक
gonna
शेयर
land
एंड
the better
सब्सक्राइब
shots. There's only so many ways you could default, only so many ways you could execute into a site. And this is where great opportunities for great players can shine.
I think Loud is gonna win this by OT.
As shining the site, couple of flashes being thrown on the attack for Loud.
Bro breakup हो गया किसका breakup हो गया
To open things
तेरा
up,
breakup
catch Zelsis with nanoswarms in his hands, a wall bang coming in, and that's Loud all over the B site.
Loud playing to the util, but I think also knowingly playing to the less numbers.
So sorry to hear that, man.
Cloud9 has usually that kill
Bumble download
pretty
kar,
often
to be
on
honest.
an island by themselves with the utility. So yeah, if you can have Aspas breaking through again, the secondary scalers coming in being really important ones there as they Aspas works the switch, then Cloud9's left in
अरे
that
वैल्यू
take
क्यों खेलना
position right now. Much
आजा और
more
मेरे साथ बैठ के
tough
स्ट्रीम देख
to squeeze into these angles.
टेंशन ना ले भाई ब्रेकअप हो गया कोई नहीं
Yep, they have to get back to the spike on this one.
Because of the thrifty.
It wasn't meant to be.
Crossfire in. Kalanzine again with the Odin. Leaf activating here, the dash. Denied
Sad
right away
boy.
as he swings out, attempts for a kill. It's all up to
थेरेपी
Jake.
दो इसको भाई भाई थेरेपी मैं बताता
Of
हूँ
course, the round's going to come in for Loud. Big check mark right now for Loud, keeping the
बेचारे
economy
save
low
भी
for
नहीं कर
C9.
पाए
And off the thrifty that they've gotten, doesn't allow C9 to get this operator out.
अरे
early
थेरेपी नहीं
into
चाहिए
the
अरे
game,
फिर
but
तो ठीक है भाई
defense
कोई
here
नहीं
for Cloud9.
भाई इज ऑलरेडी सेल्फ अवेयर तेरी
Where's
मॉम
the
को
Odin?
थेरेपी
Kalanzine
देता हूँ
still
मैं
has it.
अरे 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 अरे
Okay.
चिल
I mean,
भाई रियान
Thanks
भाई
very much for this. Yeah, why
उपाध्याय
not?
भाई
He is owning with it, getting the last few, and it makes it so hard, especially once you can set up for post plant, and Kalanzine finds a spot to lock and load. We're just watching right now where
Chill करो, हम
Les is
तुम्हारे भले
going.
के लिए बोल रहे हैं,
Staying on and just out of
मतलब प्यार से
activation
बोल
range
रहे
of
हैं
that
तुमको
turret. It looks like they're
अच्छे
gonna
से,
pull it,
कोई
pull it
मतलब
back,
बुरा
so
नहीं
they
मीन
have a
कर रहा
different
तुम्हारे
call audible right away from what Loud was initially going to do here. And they find Killjoy over at A and they go just like it's B.
And C9 were just looking for a mid-hit. A gamble to try to pressure in that area on their eco.
भाई क्या साइट ले रहे हैं ये लोग? भाई we support you. Thank you bro, thank you. Thank you for supporting. अगर आप सपोर्ट करते हो तो मेक श्योर टू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब। नहीं मेरे को पता है, मेरे को पता है, मेरे को नहीं बोला, मैं तो उसके लिए बोल रहा हूँ, रोडेंट भी तेरे भले के लिए बोल रहा है। आई नो, मेरे को नहीं बोला, टेंशन ना लो। Thank you so much by subscribing to. We are near 1,000 subscribers.
Look at just how C9 is. Don't let anybody escape off the radius of this spike. But unfortunately, off these timings, they cannot get any kills at all.
Hi sahab.
As Loud now put 4 on their attack.
I feel like they're looking for
अच्छा अगर लाउड जीती तो ट्वर्क करना। अरे भाई ये क्या बोल रहे हो भाई?
Again, like the desk said, these basic fundamental comps. You have KJ mostly alone.
क्या चाहता है मेरे को? लाउड मस्त साइट ले रहा है, वही बहुत ही बढ़िया ले रहा है। मैथ्स, हेलो भाई मैथ्स, हेलो, वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम। हाउ आर यू ब्रो? मैथ्स, मेक श्योर टू लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब। वी आर नियर 1,000 subscribers. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers man.
What it's coming down to, and it was big from Loud. You have to give credit to the thrifty pull out there because it stopped Cloud9.
अरे वाह मैथ्स, नाइस प्रोफाइल पिक मैन। J Cole, J Cole and 21 Savage.
Early timeout too being called down by Cloud9. With the last 5 rounds that we've seen, lots of aggression coming out and control on the extremities of Loud.
I love J Cole. I like J Cole. 21 Savage भी अच्छा है. Don't listen to usually song, मतलब song ज़्यादा नहीं सुनता. But like J Cole is a legend man. Great rapper.
Will it change? Will it try to fight towards mid? And look at that, you just saw
C9 ने rap सुनते हो bro? Yes, of course. One of my favorite genres man. I listen to every type of song. Rap I love. I love rap.
That could spell a little bit of mid play here. Honestly, it will be at least the cat to mid play. We did think.
Okay, it's gonna sound bad अगर अब तुम ये सुन बोल रहे हो कि my man is a damn man is a culture.
That we see on Ascent for a long time.
मैं बहुत ही बड़ा Eminem fan हूँ. I have been an Eminem fan since I was a kid. Like मैं मेरे ये सब भाई मेरे को डोनेट करने का मन है, कैसे करूँ? देख करने की जरूरत नहीं है, मैं पैसे बोल देता हूँ, बट अगर कर ही रहा है तो मेरे उसमें है, लिंक है, लिंक इन डिस्क्रिप्शन। वो मेरे को लगा लाइट गई है। सही है, एमिनेम भी भाई है। लीफ ऑफ कर रहा है। मेरे सुपर चैट यार, सुपर चैट अभी नहीं आ पाएगा, मेरे 1000 सब्सक्राइबर्स नहीं है, और 1000 सब्सक्राइबर्स होने के बाद भी 4000 घंटे का वॉच टाइम होना चाहिए।
They would get a +1 or 2. They've figured out where that operator is going to be.
The only way you can pay or donate to me is through Google Pay.
Where usually teams would fear it. Now up towards Cat, Van Silly. They're trying to push through tree into sight.
Yeah, even with that paranoia. Loud now showing their hand, showing that
Google Pay नहीं मतलब UPI. No need though भाई. I don't do this shit for money. I do this for, you know, entertain. I actually want to be a YouTuber. I genuinely do. Oh!
Looking for that third one, but it's still a trade-off on different parts around that site. Cloud9 stuck on a 2 versus 1.
2v1.
Low HP is Zelsis.
Oh no.
Back towards heaven. And he's running away. They're timing
Nahin!
on his fury. And it's up to Rooney.
They both have it.
Tap onto the spike. There's a Hunter's Fury.
Shoot it back.
And he fights back. It's a Legolas battle. And now back on a tap.
आए हार गए भाई, इसने क्यों करा? अबे यार C9.
And it's Cloud9 with the Red Bull clutch.
Oh, we are treated.
Come on man.
Hunter's Fury battle in a 1v1.
Zelsis को पीक नहीं लेनी चाहिए थी. Zelsis should have waited for, you know, लॉकडाउन का वो. अब मैं क्या बोलूँ, मैं प्रो नहीं हूँ, but still, you know.
5-1 now. We are seeing such a flip of the script here. It seems like that between game talk has righted a bit of the ship for the side of Loud. And this Odin. Oh my gosh, we were all feeling that. And MCE with an "Are you serious now?" That wasn't the play to make, but we all loved it. Thank you. Here's the
Why did he?
round from Cloud9.
मतलब समझ नहीं उसने हल्ट पल्ट क्यों किया?
And once again, the same kills, last falls. And C9 already taking that player's advantage to reposition themselves. Loud looking to re-hit towards B though. Shock dart to break utility towards B main. Already with the flash. Another swarm coming in from Loud. No command down. Out on the defense for Zeppa. Canceling that utility as a tree comes
nice.
off. Still an opportunity to res Zeppa.
Oh my word.
अबे.
Odin once again.
Just a clothesline through the wall.
Trying to get this kill on switch. And finally we stop that Odin.
अबे. थोड़ा और पहले वो ज़ेपा को वो भी कर सकता था. Revive.
Tui's again.
2 versus 1 fake TP into the corner.
Nah. Nice thrifty round, bhai.
C9 finally fight back.
Stave off a bit of the bleeding. They say thank you. This lives on. Brotherhood of the Traveling Odin now.
Bro, check that. What do you want me to
Housing
check, bro?
grabs. One for himself. Actually purchased out, I believe, from Asvas there. If that was the drop. And Rooney gets his. So.
Oh, did you donate?
No, Rooney brings that.
Bro, you didn't need to, bhai.
Wall bang for B-Link.
Yeah. Interesting. See if they can get somebody in tiles with this one. Spikes drop. Loud's gonna play it very slow on this round. And just see what kind of picks are
God
going
damn,
on.
thank you so much, man.
There's still an off anywhere on.
Thank you so much.
The money calculated.
Thank you so much for the $100.
Loud searching.
I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Nice
much.
0 point to start on that wine area.
Bro, what the fuck? Sorry.
Pressure up towards A
Sorry, paid to.
Rooney's only able to get one.
Me, Mats, Rian together we support. Thank you so much, guys.
In there with all of that utility from Killjoy.
Thank you so much.
Aldrone trying to
Thank you so much for the 40.
Celsius as he's trying to delay with his KJ utility.
Bro,
and it's
I haven't received a donation in a long time. I used to stream a lot back in the day. फिर boards की वजह से छोड़ने पड़ गई थी. भाई. अबे यार.
Last 2 players looking to flank
2v2 doable है. Lol. Timing हो गई. भाई.
Just get detained, it doesn't matter. Spike wasn't even planted. And that's a nice flank.
Holy
a
shit.
nice flank rather, and a nice hold by Zelsis and A.
So really cool thing to point out there is
I
we
want
obviously
to buy
saw Loud
nobody's.
kind of pick the
Thank you so
throughout
much.
the
Thank you so
round,
much.
and they didn't
Good people
have
deserve
Aspas
good
to
shit.
dive in
That
there
you are
away.
right. I don't know if
Causing
I'm a
the
good
chaos.
person, but
It's almost like you
brother
see
मैंने भी
Jet
करा
dive in,
चाहता था
kind of
but नहीं कर
poke
सकता.
all
No
KJ's
भाई,
until
कोई
so
भाई
gets
मैं
angry.
टेंशन ना ले.
The team following
कोई
up
करने की
knows
जरूरत
exactly where they
नहीं.
don't
Don't worry.
go and can
Even
move
if you
into
don't do it,
safety.
I'm
Here, we
fine with
saw
you
it
just
was
watching.
Loud slowed
I
down that
actually
utility
बस
this
तुम
time.
देख
Had
रहे हो
to
वही
find
मेरे लिए
with a
बहुत
few
बड़ी चीज है
members.
भाई.
The rotation came in from Cloud9, so having Aspas in this composition is super
Bro, Leaf
important for
GGG.
every
True
round
भाई.
for the
Leaf
rest
on
of it to
Jet.
work.
I love Leaf on Jet,
Is
man.
needed.
Always been very fast. This time on Paranoia, null command, and a dash
Ooh.
already into sight. Recon
Ooh,
dart, beautiful.
recon dart, perfect timing पे Zelsis ने kill भी निकाल ली.
The plant will still go down here on the attack for A main.
Drop Valo ID. HALANT hashtag sub. Wait, let me.
Such a late rotate back, and that's the Aldrone, so that's going to help clear things out. Force C9 to push a little bit more quickly towards tree.
Rodent और रियान भाई आप लोग भी दे दो खेल लेंगे साथ में.
Yeah, everything about to come out in retaliation.
Utility still available for the delay.
Oh, nice wall bang. Ooh, Leaf निकल गया, बच गया.
A peek coming in from Leaf. Shock darts once again to delay on the pulse plant on the attack. There's still so much utility left from both teams.
हार गए राउंड क्योंकि डिफ्यूज नहीं हो
Clock
सकता.
is ticking out onto that spike, and it's still going to be Loud all over that scoreboard. One more to go, stopped by Tui's.
6-3. C9 is doing a lot better than expected because
Just a
eco
clear
तो
case
बहुत
of
बढ़िया
the
destroy.
right delay util. You saw there were still flashes ready coming out of Sadak.
The eco isn't
one
good.
short one on Jenny to deny the first play. Shock darts coming, and then a long flash again towards tree. By that point, we were at fast speed, so the pressure was on.
Yeah.
And Loud created a really nice situation to be able to capitalize on another round for themselves there. 6-3 here. Looks like we're going to get a tech pause coming in, and it gives a little time. No real talking to happen, but time to think about what's going on and sort out these situations. Loud again, finding themselves headed towards where Zelsis is. We mentioned it's just that numbers game they're playing, understanding. Mid hasn't even been touched.
Yeah.
Right? They're finding a site, choosing a site, and I think once or twice, Loud has actually re-hit a different
Technical
one.
pause.
Other than that, it's been where they start is where they go.
Yeah. Especially on a B main, if C9 are deciding to push towards this B main themselves, it becomes a battle, reassess
Easily,
what
bro.
happens after.
I'll accept
but
tomorrow.
if it's going to be just an
कल
A
जब
side
चालू
hit,
करूँगा.
they've been doing really
अभी
good
I
here for
don't think
Loud
मेरा PC
to just add
मेरे
that
PC में
pressure
बहुत
and
सारी
get
चीजें
these
चल
first
रही
bloods,
हैं.
these first kills,
Request
to
sent,
just
sir.
allow the
Thank you.
explosion into the site. So C9
फेमस होके भूलना मत हमें भाई,
maybe
कभी नहीं
have to find
भूलता
a way,
यार.
maybe
मैं
fight
अपने
back
जो
towards the
मेरे
B main.
सब्सक्राइबर्स
Of course,
जो
they
थे
can't really
जब मैं
talk about it
120
right now,
सब्सक्राइबर्स के
and
आसपास थे, मैं उनको तक अभी तक मेरे स्ट्रीम पर अगर वो कभी कभी आते रेयरली, तो आई स्टिल यू नो they say भाई याद हूँ मैं, of course bro, you were my you know one of my OG subscribers.
This isn't shooting
I
headshots
don't
like
मैं
Rooney's.
ऐसे नहीं बोलता भाई.
Can we fix that? how does Rooney do that? I'll take that mouse. We'll get that fixed up.
Oh, cracked.
Right,
इसने वो करा है cheating.
Seeing it how
4 second.
Loud is kind of able to switch up from game 1
Dot
to game
exe.
2, start to orchestrate this in their favor, and it's good to see that. Without,
और यार पता भी नहीं कि यार मैं फेमस होऊंगा भी या नहीं. I really want to not famous but like I really want to become a YouTuber. I really have a passion for this.
On things that they know how to play, flip that back into the composition and feel comfortable with it here.
डर तो ये है मेरी स्ट्रीम को कॉपी स्ट्राइक ना
And
कर
also
दे.
when you're looking at even
Because
into
I'm
later rounds
technically
when,
not allowed to
you know,
stream
C9
this.
don't want to play aggressively anymore. They finally have the operator coming out from Leaf. The explosion that still comes out from Loud on these hits is just too much for Leaf to get a good positioning before. There was an opportunity a couple of rounds ago when they had that Owl drone to come out, and Leaf had a forward position, and we actually did have a spot onto Sadak when we were able to ping that for C9. But the protocols, the discipline from Loud to just stay behind, just trying to see if Cloud9 will continue to push forward after that. They've been reading this map really well here for us.
Sorry.
A lot of the rounds are coming down to the 1v1s.
HALANT fan boy.
Obviously, we had our Hunter's Fury
Bro भाई तू
duel,
अभी तक यहाँ
and then
पर
a few more
है.
rounds
Bro भाव
as
तेरे
well,
कितने बड़े
considering
fans
this
हैं.
Odin
भाई
that's
तू
coming
ही है
into
सबसे
play.
बड़ा fan, not gonna lie.
With the way the game
This
is
guy
flowing
knows literally
overall,
everything
if we
about
take
me.
a look at the money. Loud, if they lose a few more or win a few more rounds, even with going down, they could be in a pretty tough money spot. And so Cloud9 is what I'm trying to say has been doing quite a bit of damage, but still haven't found the ground to get these rounds up. It looks like Loud is just too comfortable, too relaxed.
Instagram पे मैसेज आ रहा है तेरा.
I remember I'm yawning on the first map before we got it, where we were getting into Agent Select, waking up now and then out just chilling. He's in the zone. It's been working out at least for Loud. A similar storyline of what we've seen on the first map on Split when you mentioned, hey, 7 rounds on attack for C9, looking pretty good. 6 rounds on attack here for Loud so far, looks pretty good. And there's unsung heroes from players in both teams, and I think it's again on that Sova. There's been a lot of good pings coming out from both Rooney
Bro तेरे को
and
request भेज दिया.
Kawatzin that allow
Nice
so
talking to you.
many of
Same to you bro.
these
Same to you.
chaotic battles to happen into these sites.
I mean,
तेरा alt है ना ये fanboy नहीं भाई. लगता है भाई मेरा जो alt है वो ये है. रुक जा. मेरी alt literally है.
Point cooldown, so yeah, you can get your KO to have flashes, but at that minute 20 mark, you're kind of relying on either a bolt to be up or the drone to still be there on retake. So I think that's also what Loud's kind of working
This is my alt,
knowing if
जिसमें
they
मैं
have
दूसरी
got a bit
stream
of
चल
that
रही है और
signature
chat देख रहा हूँ
utility
अपनी.
out that they can work around. As Cloud9 kind of starved for information when the time comes, waiting to those pressure cooker moments where the fast beep already hits and they're trying to get into sight.
And it's been fast rounds, intensive rounds.
Dude, no
coming in
joke है.
back and
Rodent and
forth
Mats
from
मेरे ही
these
दोस्त हैं.
teams.
हाँ समझ गया था वो
As
तो.
much on
But
the
all we have to
defense
say
and
is
on
small
the attack,
critical. Thank you so
but
much.
this technical
That is a
pause
nice
will
thing to do.
definitely cool them a little bit more. And to give you a bit of an update here, chat and crowd, we basically have latency issues that we're looking to identify. So we're just going to make sure that everything's going to be okay before everybody can head back into the server and could actually get into the continuation of this matchup. So for more on Cloud9's Jake and his aggressive playstyle, we spoke to a guy that knows him pretty well. Here's Zelsis, the teammate, to talk us through what Jake's all about.
I think with Jake, his playstyle it comes back to like his decision making. He really likes to fight and he has the aim for it, but he's really also good at like understanding when he has an advantage. If we're down at advantage or like playing the map, he just reads the map really well. So he'll take a fight if he thinks he has to or something like that, and we all trust him to
But Zelsis is another breed.
maybe next round he'll
Zelsis
take it
बहुत
again.
बढ़िया.
He's gonna hit it.
3 MB. Cloud9 ने ये को हटा के उसका career खत्म कर दिया.
don't know if he
I
knows he
don't
has
know
good aim or
career
what, but
खत्म
I
कर
think he
दिया है
just
नहीं,
likes to
but most
fight.
probably एक साल के
And
लिए.
that's like a good
Okay,
trait to
wait,
kind of
wait,
have.
let
Is
me
like,
mute this. Like career खत्म नहीं बोलूंगा, but they really did a bad thing with him because Cloud9 के पास पैसा खुद नहीं है, तो इनके देखिए स्पॉन्सर इनके धीरे धीरे हट रहे हैं, right? They really don't have money and they couldn't afford ये because ये ने खुद की अपनी सैलरी एंड लाइक प्राइसेस इतने बढ़ा रखे थे, तो इट्स लाइक होता है. इट्स नॉट इवन C9's fault at this point. Somewhere in EMEA he will go. हाँ यूरोपियन जा सकता है, बट आई थिंक आई डोंट नो मैन, ही कुड गो एनीवेयर एट दिस पॉइंट. सब DSG पता है डिस गाइस, दे वर सेइंग कि एक्चुअली दे कांट. द थिंग इज कि आई वाज लाइक, ये मैं देख रहा था कि ही कांट गो इन अ बिग लीग. 8 ईयर उसमें नहीं जा सकता अब वो. फर्स्ट ईयर टीम्स में, मतलब जो प्रॉपर टीम्स रहती है कि C9 सेंटिनल्स वगैरह, अभी नहीं जा सकता फॉर अ ईयर. आफ्टर दैट उसे अभी B tier टीम्स में जानना पड़ेगा, लाइक DSG एंड लाइक ये छोटी छोटी टीम्स जो रहती हैं, EX, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर द नेम, ECG या ECG, ऐसी टाइप की टीम्स जो B tier लीग्स होती हैं, उसमें जाना पड़ेगा उन्हें. तो आई थिंक ही कुड गो टू DSG, बट आई डोंट नो if DSG कैन अफोर्ड हिम और नॉट. डिसगाइज टोस्ट के उसमें जा सकता है. विल बी नाइस. I don't know, but he'll play. Career तो destroy नहीं हुआ है for sure. Good players can't get their career destroyed. Skill based game है, आ ही जाएंगे आखिरी में. Somehow, somewhere. $37 seconds. भाई कितना बड़ा टेक्निकल पॉज हुआ है. तब तक देखते टैरिक क्या बोल रहा है.
Yo, send me more of those. Send me more of those. Wherever the fuck you're getting those, send me more of those. Nah. Yay on if he's currently employed. What the fuck? I mean, who the fuck are these guys? Ethan, when asked about the C9 roster changes. Nice.
Furia versus Leviathan. Who you got? I really don't know both of the teams, but I think Leviathan. I think Leviathan's got it, to be honest. अरे मैं सट्टा लगाना भूल गया. Prediction pool. Fuck. Prediction started. Waiting for result. सट्टा लगाना भूल गया. सट्टा है जिनकी ये जो Twitch वाले सट्टे होते हैं.
Series on split 13-7. Loud has now shown
Let's go.
a very
Finally
strong
शुरू हो गया
attack
वापस.
on the second map here of Ascent, and already we're going back into the game after all.
It's different people in the
ये हालंत
driver's
fanboy
seat
literally
here.
मेरी
It
आईडी
looked
नहीं है.
like
तेरे को पता है, he
Cloud9
literally
was
binge watched
running
my
Loud
content
around, and now
and like
Loud, they're playing their own game.
मेरे
On the
फ्रेंड्स
back
को
of
जान गया है
Aspas,
लिटरली, जो मैं
diving
जिनके साथ
into
खेलता हूँ
these.
उनका
The
नाम
team
ले
is
रहा
just
है,
on a tether
मेरे को ये चीजें
coming
बता
in
रहा है. भाई
as long as they
many
have
things
Clef
भाई.
on the flank. Here again, we're probably going to see it. We found a bit of the util, wait on drone, and activate Aspas. There we go.
Dashed in now into the cloud burst. Second one to play around the dice. Utility now being broken. A full open site for a plant.
Spike planted.
C9 once again have to go. Drilled protocol for the retake. He's ready to slow down once again. Another one of these rounds where there's just too much utility on the attack of the post plant. 0 point.
Loud ने फिर से साइट ले ली भाई. साइट होल्ड नहीं हो रही इनसे. Bro, I'm not his old. I really like his content. See, bhai, he does. I believe you, Halant fanboy. I really do.
With a flash recon coming in, a drop in towards him.
Bye.
But it's still players of Cloud9 following.
If Leaf
The cheeky
got
little
Aspas,
fragment hook shot grenade that landed onto Heaven really cut off what Leaf was trying to promote with the two members up there at Cloud9's defense. Beautifully held by Loud. Like you said, it's just a smattering of util once we get in here. Especially on a take like that where nobody really went down, so you're expecting to see the rest of it come through. So there goes the sonar bolt. You see that little flick up there by the fragment, and it just allows Loud to separate Cloud9 beautifully on the retake.
इसके हाथ पे देख क्या लिखा हुआ है, शिवजी,
That's what
पता
I'm
नहीं,
saying.
जय
The
साई राम,
action here is
जय
not
साई
only
राम
on
लिखा होता।
Kaladin with the Odin, but every time they're entering these sites, those shock darts into the ground
साई राम
nullifies
लिखा होता
any
है।
type of utility that C9 has on a hold. Again, one more round where they're trying to hit towards B main. And look at Loud. Identify that. Rush into the A site.
Rinse and repeat.
ADSing though, it's still Leaf. Okay, gets this thing
भाई
onto
साहब,
less.
स्टिंगर से निकाल दिया उसने इतना
Still
लॉन्ग।
comes in for A main.
All right, Leaf on
चल
the
लीफ
Vandal.
को वो मिल गई
The rest
बैंडर।
of the team, Stinger still picked up and a Sheriff there. So they actually have from the shadows if they wanted to night vision here, mess with it.
That
Ooh,
knife
no.
actually stopped the Hunter's Fury for a bit too, so this might allow
Oh
the
wait,
lockdown
Zeppa
to
could
fully
get
come out.
timing, Zeppa could get timing.
But playing towards Wine, playing on a big flank, huge kill by Zeppa. Now here comes a fight towards Tree. And last one is towards A main. Stopped by Cowadzine again, and Loud are just
Oh my gosh.
looking too good. Always an
Nice
answer
equal.
to every type of step that C9 has.
You took the words out of my mouth. An answer to everything right now. Even when they try to come in with a lockdown to make plays, Loud has already thought about it. 8-3 here. Looks like we could kind of get an even for the same first half we did on Split, just with Loud taking the lead. Hunter's Fury there is going to be up for Kalanzine and Rooney. Maybe we'll get a dueling 1v1 again. And Sadak.
Sub pitches going around deserving streamers. Thank you so much. Shaurya, acha rodent terror illam
Everybody
Shaurya.
on the team for Loud has really been participating to get this.
Oh man.
And now they go to B, right? So
Yeah.
we haven't seen a B to A, but it is the 0 point that makes C9 think it
Thank you
might
if you
be
think
A.
I deserve.
That's
Thank you so
exactly
much
it,
for
and
thinking
Zelsis
I
is actually
deserve.
in range of a null command too, so all of that utility once again fully denied.
ऐसे धीरे धीरे करते करते बढ़
Hunter's
जाएंगे
Fury into the site.
followers, subscribers I
Coming
guess.
back on a defense. We still have players inside B now for C9. Leap opens it up at the staircase. Zelsis on the top of the box has never been spotted. It's now despite being down, Leap trying to delay. A fight towards Logs as Les stops him.
3v3 doable.
Spike's still looking to get
Spikes.
picked up here out in the open. Owl drone coming out too.
Oh.
Owl doesn't even care about the spike.
2v1.
Rooney now. And another attempt to clutch. But there's so many bullets in the chamber here with this Odin. A little bit of a love tap. As the recon comes in, he gets pinged out. But Tuiz has trigger display to not
Ay,
swing
nahi
swings
yaar.
out now to get the
Come
kill
on, man.
and put Loud at 9 versus Cloud9's 3.
Absolutely incredible first half coming out.
They
from
go
Loud.
cursed half and
Really
9-3.
working the Odin
3
to a
3-9.
huge effect, but also sticking with the game plan and not letting Cloud9 disrupt
Okay,
it at
now
all.
what
As
Cloud9
fast goes
needs
in,
is a really
once
good pistol
activated
round.
After the shock darts, like you said, clear
If they get a
utility,
going
it's
really
cleared
going to
now
promote your
in the post
channel
plans
in
for
the
Loud
school.
here.
Thank you so much, bhai. Thank you so much.
It still looks too good from health. I mean,
नारे
remember we were
लगेंगे।
playing that range coming out here from Zelsis outside of
कहाँ
those
पर,
nanoswarms, outside of the null command, but it's
Right.
too good here for
क्या
Loud.
कहते हैं
And now it's back to the death to see what they have to say on Loud's
LG?
performances.
Which
Cloud9
college?
had a strong start in this series, but it
Which
would appear that
school
Loud
are you
has
going to?
woken up as they look incredible on the first of Ascent. And Sean, it started off strong with them winning one of those eco rounds.
कौन से स्कूल जाते हो तुम तीनों? Wait. DPS which one? Which DPS? DPS Ghaziabad, bro. Not even kidding. I'm from DPS. DPS Dehradun. What a small world, man. सबके same schools है. Bro. See, Loud is fucking dominating this map. देहरादून में किधर भाई? देहरादून में DPS देहरादून. अब देहरादून नहीं रहता, अब तो नोएडा रहता हूँ कॉलेज के लिए. But like before this, I used to live in Dehradun. I still am from there. I am from Dehradun, but I'm living in Noida. कितना गलत है अगर हम स्पैम करते हैं तो हम नूब बन जाते हैं. लाउड फुल स्पैम पे मार रहे. अबे दैट्स द थिंग, लीग पे डिपेंड करता है. यू रियली शुडंट लिसन बोल रहा हूँ. यू रियली भाई साहब मेरे से बोलना नहीं जा रहा, नींद में हो गया, मैं भंड रखा हूँ. यू रियली शुडंट लिसन टू द अपोनेंट्स. स्पैम करना है करो, ठीक है, क्या कर लेंगे भाई, फर्क नहीं पड़ता. When you go to higher ranks, they don't care about which gun do you use. 3 AMV, 3 MV, 239 subscribers. Valorant, ले भाई तेरे को सब्सक्राइब कर दिया मैन. थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग अ लॉयल सब्सक्राइबर. मैंने भी तेरे को सब्सक्राइब कर दिया. Bro, you were editing like marquee edits and you were getting 2 or 3K views. Damn. Why do you stop? Why'd you stop, man? Really should know. मुंबई सर्वर प्रॉब्लम है, सिर्फ स्पैमिंग एसजी में के नहीं, सिंगापुर में केयर नहीं करते. हाँ, बिकॉज सिंगापुर पीपल हैव अ ब्रेन. मुंबई सर्वर इज वेरी टॉक्सिक मैन, वेरी टॉक्सिक. बट अब मैंने छोड़ दिया है. यूजुअली आई जस्ट डोंट लिसन. मैं उनके साथ मस्ती मार रहा होता हूँ. मैंने बोलता और भाई कैसा है, आई लव यू ब्रो, ऐसे ऐसे. ओ बेबी ट्वर्क करो, ऐसे ऐसे टाइप की चीज़.
Loud from the first half. We could definitely see the same thing from C9, and it's looking, at least for C9, all of the players, all of the pieces, leaning towards this B site.
Thank you. No worries भाई. जी की तैयारी में लग गया, टाइम नहीं मिलता. आई गेस हाँ. अबे तेरे को पता है, मतलब थोड़े ये राउंड के बाद बोलता हूँ. बट लाइक आई रियली रिग्रेट वन थिंग. मैं ना हर रोज स्ट्रीम करता था 2-3 महीने तक, एंड आई वाज गेटिंग लाइक 15 और 20 व्यूअर्स पर स्ट्रीम, एंड दैट वाज रियली गुड. ठीक है. एंड एवरी स्ट्रीम आई वाज गेनिंग लाइक सब्सक्राइबर्स भी अच्छे खासे आ रहे थे. मेरे 1000 सब्सक्राइबर हो गए थे. तो 1060 हो गए थे. बट उसके बाद मेरे बोर्ड्स आ गए थे 12th के, तो आई हैड टू लीव देम. एंड उसके बाद फिर मेरे को छोड़ दिया 6-7-8 महीने. फिर कंसिस्टेंसी नहीं आ पाई, और उसके बाद फिर मेरे सब्सक्राइबर कम हो गए और मैं गिर गया. भाई सब क्या कर रहे हैं? लाउड भाई साहब, लाउड. हेलो दोस्त. नाइस, फाइनली भाई. चलो, C9 really needed that piston off. स्ट्रीम शेड्यूल क्या है? यूजुअली एवरी डे आई स्ट्रीम अराउंड एट 5 o'clock. अगर नहीं होता बट तो मैं एक दिन, जैसे अभी ये मैच चल रहा है, जैसे ये Cloud9 वर्सेस ये, तो हर रोज वॉच पार्टी करूंगा. कल सेंटिनल्स का, तो कल सेंटिनल्स वाली वॉच पार्टी करूंगा मैं. और लाइक यूजुअली एवरी डे एट 5 o'clock एंड नाइट 9 o'clock के आसपास, हर रोज 5 o'clock एंड 9 o'clock. एंड मैं स्ट्रीम शेड्यूल कर देता हूँ, और मतलब यू गाइज कैन सी, अगर तुम्हारे नोटिफिकेशंस ऑन रहेंगे, मैं हर रोज स्ट्रीम के लिए शेड्यूल कर देता हूँ, टू लेट यू गाइज नो कि मैं स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ, वगैरह वगैरह. चलो फाइनली C9 got that pistol round, but loud almost you know रिकवर कर, उसमें कमबैक मार गए थे उस पिस्ट राउंड में.
Maybe our first mid play here. They start to tempt it.
Bro.
Classic Sadak with a classic, and then Seppa's going to trade that back with a quick stinger. So a 1v1 in mid, but it still leaves Loud a little hurt here with one more down.
Nice.
Jake still
Oof,
watching that.
अगर वो सोवा ने साला हेडशॉट मार दिया होता ना, मैं गुस्सा आ जाता इस बार.
Two-player advantage for C9, still holding it very slowly on a default. Checking every corner. Spam, paranoia.
It's good though. So if you're Loud and you're on an eco, you want to try to instill some fear. Make C9 think you're around every corner here, and stall out the time. If you get him into that really tight moment on plant, it may just be a headshot that stops it in time. Playing back though.
Guys, by the way, तुम सब आए गए हो तो लाइक भी कर ही देना स्ट्रीम.
What is the eco damage, and hey, if the hit sells or Zeppa, maybe
the DPS free
going with confidence.
And okay to take their time. There was still so much for C9 to move into the site.
Headshot नहीं था, body था.
Before the dark cover blooms, door now being closed.
Spike planted.
As both players are allowed now grouped together towards market. Shock dart coming out from ruins.
Shorty के साथ बैठी है
No
जेट यार.
damage done.
Obviously bro. बट बोलने में क्या जा रहा है, एक यूट्यूबर होने का मेरे को वो है, लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब. दीज 3 words are the most words that I use.
Checking every corner. Stinger close. As he dashes in to clear it, so use that to clear towards B main. You can really see it from Loud. You're gonna let that spike go
शॉर्टी की
off.
स्किन कितनी बढ़िया लग रही है.
Just have C9.
उनको पता है वो राउंड हार गया. They're just trying to take eco frags.
Clear towards the close.
Through the gauntlet.
There's one.
भाई
There's
साहब,
all the kills.
बेहतरीन
nicely
exit
done.
frags.
Really playing for the long game here, especially with a few rounds.
बहुत ही बढ़िया
in the
exit
first
frag.
half. They can start to toy with the economy, knowing they can't get the round, but get some weapons.
शॉर्टी स्किन कितनी सुंदर लग रही थी वाली, Araxis वाली. Entering this match, Loud has only lost on 40-77 round on Ascent all time. Bhai sahab.
Sadak with a great game so far. Leaf, see if it can happen. We're waiting for the gun round to come out now, and do they go back to the just diving forward, following each other? Right now, it's a very similar setup to Loud at this point, where they would be going forward. Less armor, though, maybe to be had in this situation. Again, these 0 points.
Best
So
yet,
good from Zara.
bro, I still think C9 is gonna win.
Especially Loud.
You
playing with the
really think
Phantoms
comeback?
mainly into
They
these
could,
rapid
मतलब
fire
5-9 is comeback होता है. Plus like
That's
9-3
quite good that
curse.
they damaged the economy that low here for C9 in their round, which is supposed to be a bonus, but losing this one here would break their economy.
हाँ ये C9 हार नहीं सकता. अगर ये हारे तो इकोनॉमी पूरी खत्म हो जाएगी उनकी. लीफ का बैठा हुआ
close
है.
to alt orb. Plant, orb grab. Could definitely be Hunter's Fury for a post plant. Cloud9 has to start layering these situations because Loud is not letting them in with every member.
Couple flashes being thrown, 0 point also counteracted by Loud.
Leaf lower.
Another smoke. And that's why we're talking about those phantoms through smokes.
Yep.
Could do a lot of damage here, but it's still the duelist that comes out of it wounded. Both Aspas and Leaf. As C9 are looking to sell this fake, Zeus is moving up towards the alarm button, actually now being met up by the spike. Less ADSing towards the switch.
Nice
JK
one.
opens it up on A. This might be a huge pivot with 30 seconds left. But look at Loud already rotating towards A.
You thought you were getting your first mid play of the round, but it's not. They're going back to Cat. The game, and it's going to be shots coming in. Tui's does his best to stop Zeppa, but they're still going to make it in. This plant's going to be tight, Vansili.
And Aspas is still at Generator, gets that first one onto Rooney, swings across, and Zeppa answers back. 10 seconds left on the clock. Shock darts coming in. Will it land? Will it kill? It will not. Plant now comes down.
Why? Nice.
ADS by Loud. Who gets two? Back to a 1 versus 1. Zeppa jiggling out towards this
भाई
Generator.
1v3 clutch कर देगा ना तो हो जाएगा.
Now spotted. Still on top of heaven.
भाई साहब.
And Zeppa will eventually get the kill. What an attempt by Les.
Cloud9 getting a very much needed round, but both teams.
C9 का eco नहीं है. I think अब किसी का सबकी eco सा ही रहेगा. बहुत ही
This
very
actually
weird.
it's even better that Loud was able to delete so many players on that Cloud9 round win the other time.
सब किसी के पास ही पैसा नहीं है भाई अब इस round.
Everything in that sense is coming into play in the economy. Loud doing all, or less doing all he could.
Yeah.
And
भाई Zeppa.
able to lock down
Jord.
that one. So you see Zeppa as well. Null command is up there. Maybe usable here in this next round to deny a little bit of retake from Loud. And they're playing into the 0 point now. They're ready to fight for it.
And it's a judge close. Aldril and Ping Simpson's gonna try to run out.
Bhai,
But it's gonna be
that judge could have been very big, you know.
great point here, Rip. That economy.
Whoop.
As Leaf gets the headshot onto Aspas.
I mean,
Bro,
you see it
somebody
all over the
check his
place. You
PC.
get Spectre by sheriffs into judges and bulldogs on the other side. This is going to be a tough one. It's getting scrappy, Vansili.
Back at towards the generator, but we have a
Ooh,
recon.
short.
4.
The fuck
Another
Leaf?
4K
वो
for
ही.
Leaf into the round. And it was looking to potentially
C9
be
comeback.
something good for Loud because, yes, C9 won that previous round, but it was still very costly. So it came in pretty low into a buy, but thankfully here, in the end, we salvaged it. You got Leaf, true.
Like Wyatt said, you got to take note. A lot of these rounds are kind of star power rounds from Leaf. And that's tough if you have to call upon that each time to be getting these. Still, obviously, the rest of the team coming through. Ultimates to be used this round, but have to give it to him so far. What a play on this to start bringing the rounds back. Let's see how the 0 point at A works again. A few rounds in a row, Cloud9 has got caught by it, seemed timid on the retake, and then played into that 0 point.
Mid play, finally mid kill raha.
Trying to read what Loud's doing here so quick towards that cat area. The tree is already taken over.
Odin, paranoid,
अबे
nice assist as Cowdzine gets the pick onto
बहुत ही
Leaf.
बढ़िया खेला उन्होंने एक साथ.
Start things off. They haven't identified the operator out from Aspas yet. C9 still looking at pressure to break that Killjoy utility into the A site.
Spike retrieved.
The spike just got heard being dropped down towards the tree for Loud. Gotta go back into defaulting at this point now.
Ball bang देना. Ui.
Heroic play attempt
Ooh, le.
by Jake, who does
उनकी
get the dink
KJ.
onto Les, who's down
Less
to
1 HP.
Hunter's Fury down on the attack. As everybody's rotating towards the B site. A TP
Nice.
in the back. Ruby still connects onto Cowdzine.
Wait. बी ले लिया उन्होंने.
1 HP falls.
भाई क्या कर रही है?
For Aspas potentially to move towards the
Well,
market.
very well played by.
Inside the site. And that's Jake transfer back onto Tui's.
उन्हें पता ही नहीं था कि जेक वहाँ पर है बी पर.
All over the place. As now the spike's down. 18 seconds left.
This is doable.
Spike.
Who missed a few is landing all of these.
Oh. Why?
The Red Bull clutch to save the round for Loud.
You cannot give him a moment with an operator. Aspas comes up with an incredibly big round.
Finally, Aspas के shots लग रहे हैं. Finally. But like, why that was a round for?
And you can see the tension of the last peak. Well, is trying to make the trade, trying to make the reload as the operator racks the last bullet. But Aspas too fast, too ready, too clean, and picks that one up. Injects the O face into the crowd. What a clutch.
God damn, boy. That was a C9 win. C9 round.
Back
They
back
fucked
to
up.
kind of just swarming this play for a little bit with the flank here of Zelsis to make sure nobody's getting a good read on
एक
what is
KJ की
actually
साइट है.
happening.
4
But
लोग
you
आ
gotta
गए
give
हैं.
it to
3
Aspas
तो हैं
already
और सोवा
peeking
भी आ
out.
रहा है.
They're gonna know
Sova
that mid
नहीं.
to A is probably the big hit.
Heard that off ring across the B main. Breaking the turret for Zelsis, so that's a good call. Going to be the call for C9 to move now towards generator inside the site.
Lord.
Immediate trade coming out.
No.
Around the generator. Still 2 players anchoring towards the back of the A site.
5 HP भाई निकालो इसे. साले को निकालो भाई.
Can't deal with it, and finally Zelsis fights back, but Cowson's there for the assist.
Pro क्या सीन है? तीनों ड्राई पिक लिया. उन पे था नहीं ना यूटिलिटी, उनके खत्म हो गई
Point
थी.
of view there, it looked
Utility
like
नहीं
there
थी
wasn't
उनको.
enough from
बची नहीं थी.
Cloud9 on the take, right? Les didn't have to really turn from a flash, from much, was hiding a bit back towards where we see that null command coming out right in front as they were
GG
able
Loud.
to shut a lot down with
I
it.
don't know about
But
GG.
yeah,
They
Les in such a good spot to just have clear shots, firing
कर
range.
सकते हैं अभी.
And we see these plays coming out once again from the A defense, and that's going to be a C9 timeout.
7-11 है,
round
कम बैक कर
19.
सकते हैं अभी. Possible है.
None yet used here by Loud. As for C9, it's okay. Well, trying to hit towards these sites, you think they're able to make it in. Small differences that we see towards these hits from C9 versus Loud on this map so far is that lack of actually Silva utility to break that KJ utility that's being placed up here by Les.
Just kind of being relied on is kind of triggered and then running by it after the delay happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like they might just be kind of wanting to, obviously, but banging their head against that strategy. With the one-way coming out at A, they are forced to battle against the bit of utility or use their own to make that layer
Bro,
work.
I want to see 3 maps
Maybe look to
XD.
them, head away from that for now and work.
To be honest, I don't.
Already we see
I
in
wanna
their
sleep.
setup, easy for us to see that they're organized towards
Most probably
B with
I'll
just
after
Leaf
this
hanging out
C9
towards A.
versus
So I think Leaf, they may start getting these
I'm
lurks
not
on,
gonna
these
stream, I'm just gonna
misdirection
sleep.
plays that we have not really seen from either team.
too tired,
It-
man.
Both of them have been taking the sights and hitting it. Where they are is where they hit. We said that first half.
Same
And it
सोने
seems
दो
to be
भाई.
the case here. So maybe a little misdirection to start off on this as C9 changes their gameplay.
Hero rifle for Zelsis.
Yeah.
Lockdown available. Look at the nanoswarms being placed out on the defense for Loud. Very deep towards B main, towards the sidewalk, and that's everything that we just mentioned at the beginning of the round, fully denied by the Odin of Kawadzin.
This lurk.
Too good.
The waiting arms of Aspas. Double cloud burst. Oh, actually asked for the help there from B main. And gets it from the team.
So the timeout now. It's for C9 and try to string back these rounds to see if they can bring it into overtime. The hero rifle from Zelsis didn't work out. Everybody else saved the round. All of that in terms of the economy allowing this rifle round to come in.
It's going third map.
Cloud9 still putting up a huge fight on this map, even though Loud, kind of flipped it to 11 as they came into this game. We're seeing nothing
Next map's
from them.
C9
What
का
we did
choice
on
है.
Split,
So
it
let-
looks much more organized. The Loud, we know. The Loud, a lot of people expected to kind of take this in a 2-0 fashion, but we look to be going to a game 3 here. Loud on game point. A lot of ultimates to be used on defense.
Abbe bhai,
Shuts him
Aspas.
down, Zelsis. That's a quick one with the
भाई
Brimstone activated
Aspas
too.
पागल
Another
हो रखा है
lockdown
भाई.
dropped early, this time by Aspas.
मैं वही बोला KJ का
As
lockdown
I
is
mentioned,
like the
now
biggest,
into the
best,
second
one
map
of the best lockdown
is
after
the Aspas
Sages.
that we know and love. Not missing a single shot on the operator. Even the Allen drone denied by teammates inside the A site. Less utility used with 4 Cloud9 on the attack. Facing the map loss. Loud looking to fight this into a third map on Pearl.
भाई साहब ball bank
Despite being down with a minute left. C9 has not gained too much here in terms of map control.
I'm down for a Pearl
with that
match.
timing.
Roll it in. Let's go. Still cautious.
Oh!
अबे
Les was always ready for that
भाई
one. Jake falls and that's no smokes. But you get timing off the 0 point that was thrown before by Sadak.
KJ की उनकी KJ पे ult है वो
Very
ult
cautious in
करेंगे.
this play. Oh, everybody's so far back. They're like, take B, fine, have it. We have the utility to
Right here.
rotate.
Great C9.
And
नहीं नहीं
drops less, so there's no
wait
flank
a
coming
minute.
out early into this round.
उनकी KJ मर
And we
गई
have
है
an
तो
early
basically
push,
they don't have
An
ult.
aggressive push from Zeppa at the staircase towards Market. And an opportunity here for these 3 players to come in clutch for Cloud9. 0 point answered back to initiate the retake. It spots at least Leaf into the radius of B
I
main.
think Zeppa कुछ कर लेगा इस वाले
Condenser
में.
then on to the defense, but there's that position
Zeppa.
from Zeppa.
Nice,
Lands
nice,
on the
nice.
second kill. Dodging
भाई
the
मेरे को लग ही रहा था
Condenser.
Zeppa खेलेगा इस वाले
Comes
में.
in with the Odin, fragment on the
No
ground.
no 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 no.
And Zeppa even falls back, running that clock down. Well done. But that now brings in the 1 versus 1. Rooney has to come up huge. The spray from the Odin. The tap onto the spike. And the spray still comes out. Misses that fight, but at least he's done his job. The spike will go
जीत
off.
गया.
And C9
Zeppa
will
OP
be
भाई
able to
Zeppa
win
OP.
at the player disadvantage.
Zeppa OP.
Cloud9 with a fantastic setup there.
उसने उसने जो नाइफ फेंका ना उसमें Zeppa दिखा नहीं उन्हें और उसकी वजह से उन्होंने मार्केट चेक नहीं किया क्योंकि उन्हें लगा मार्केट क्लियर है. ये देख जो नाइफ आया वो उनको लगा मार्केट क्लियर है तो उन्होंने देखा ही नहीं. Zeppa ने टाइमिंग करी और 2 निकाल दिए और तीसरा भी निकल गया. अगर वो जेट नहीं निकालता तो मे बी आई थिंक लाउड जीत जाती वो राउंड.
Confidence in the shots,
अभी को
confidence
बहुत
in
है.
each other, and Cloud9
अगर
picking
ये
up
राउंड
a
हारे
big round from Zeppa.
तो फिर भी लाउड पे आई
Command
थिंक
back up
रहेगी.
there. You might see
पैसे
Cloud
रहेंगे
back
इसके
up a
बाद
little
भी.
bit for this ultimate ready as they get a quick check to Cat.
And the 0 point also did not allow an early cloud burst to try to get a pick here. Or an updraft rather. Lee fully denied towards the link. Null command coming out. And we do have, oh no, the Odin coming out to drop Rooney. Spike now drop Paranoia. Kawajin falls to fall back. Les also spraying through the smoke to drop 1. And C9 looking to at least regain that face as much as they could. Running into this. Jakey's looking for a fight. There's only 1 left now pinged out. Leaf, you have a lot in your hands right here. And you're gonna fall down for the Odin spray of Kawajin once again.
भाई कोच बन जाओ आप किसी ना 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 बिल्कुल पागल है.
We got that video about Zelsa saying here's his W. I like that he's pretty aggressive, but he's aggressive though.
हाँ भाई मैं कोच बन गया तो क्या बात कर दी भाई तूने. Sad. So let's vote Tariq. हाँ Tariq पे भी ऐड आ रहा है.
And Ben Silly. This has been as slobbering slobbery. No, what am I saying?
It's been intense. It's been chaotic for both of these
slobbering match.
Exactly. These retakes have been all
मैं
over the
चलता
place.
सोने अब.
And
Good
that
night, bye.
was
Good night, Rodent.
following that 1
Good night,
versus
bye.
1 100
Thank you for the
versus
stream and the
both
donations.
ends.
Thank you.
But it
Bye
definitely
bye.
shows here that
Good night.
Loud has come out to play, that Aspas has woken up, and also that Kawajin has really stepped up to the plate to support Aspas's entries.
And I know what I wanted to say. As sloppy as the games looked,
We've seen a lot of
they were still
Bulldogs
both
too lately, huh?
slobberings. Honestly, looking at both teams being able to fix the mistakes and play their own game is super good to see. I think very impressive from Cloud9. So maybe a little bit of pressure on to the side of Loud here. It's gonna be time.
T9's looking pretty good, not gonna lie. I think they're looking way better than people thought they would. That's for sure.
Don't go anywhere.
I mean, yeah, I don't think. Because it's like NA, NA, SA, SA. Obviously, everyone will eventually play each other, but to start it off, it's
Twitch में song use करने पे copyright नहीं आता ना? Copyright आता है, but actually मतलब problem ये होती है कि मतलब they can use songs while they're streaming, but जो VOD होता है उनका VOD जो होती है, उसमें जो मतलब बाद में जाके देख सकते हो, उसमें फिर वो गाने मतलब basically automatically हट जाते हैं. तो that's the thing. बाकी अगर मेरे को अपने गाने चलाने होंगे YouTube पे मैं भी चला सकता हूँ, but the only thing is कि मेरा फिर क्योंकि जो वॉर्ड होती है वो उसके बाद आती है और उसमें फिर ऐड आते हैं तो वो उसका कॉपीराइट लग जाता है. इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट थिंग बट लाइक दैट्स वाई यूट्यूब पे करते नहीं है क्योंकि बीच बीच में वीडियो बंद करते हैं. यूट्यूब हैज़ अ बेटर कॉपीराइट स्ट्राइक सिस्टम, नॉट बेटर पर से बट लाइक बेटर नोटिसेबल सिस्टम, मतलब वो जल्दी नोटिस कर लेता है. कितने ऐड आएंगे? अच्छा ऐड तो एक ही बार आएगा, मैं 2-3 बार ऊपर नीचे वो कर दिया वेबसाइट आगे पीछे. मेरे को अब लगाऊंगा मैं सट्टा, मेरे पे है 670.
Welcome back, where Loud have fought back and brought the series 1-1 in their game versus Cloud9, and it seems like they're just chilling after that one, having a nice little snack after taking their dominant win, Wyatt.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Like picnic or something. What was
Sharing a cookie?
They were sharing the cookie?
That's teamwork if I've ever seen it.
Ospas didn't take it. Maybe he should have though.
Maybe the synergy's going to be off in the next match after that. I don't know. We're going to have to dive into that. But let's dive into that second match and start off by rewinding to the first half of that one, where Loud was absolutely dominating on their attack side. And Wyatt, it felt like they were starting to kind of run out of some ideas on the Cloud9 camp.
Yeah, Cloud9 on that first half, really the only signs of life that were shown were when they all decided to rush out of B main together, try and get a little cheeky
I think they
kill
did
or
that
something.
3 times.
Yeah, that was basically all the round wins except the one-time leaf popped off. Wow, see, it looks really sad. Someone give that man a hug. Poor guy. And then on the second half, Cloud9 had a couple, they started off decently. I think they struggled to find openings, though, in a lot of those mid-rounds. And when it came down to the side execs, Loud were always rotated and ready to defend.
Yeah, I feel like they were never going to bring this game back from that 9-3 deficit. It was just too much to handle. And even after winning the bonus, which, by the way, kind of triggered me when we were watching it because Les had a Bulldog instead of having a Phantom or a Vandal because he bought a Sheriff the round prior. But neither here nor there. So Loud ended up closing out the map. I think it's because it was Ascent. This is a strong pick by Loud. There's not much variety in the comps, right? So they've seen all of these variations in their practice. Cloud9 can't cringe comp them.
Yeah.
That's not the case on Split, and it's also not the case on the last map, Pearl. So it's a tale of two different stories between these maps, and I think that was a really solid pick by Loud.
Yeah, it basically was played out kind of how we said before the game started. Just we took it back to basics, back to the standard stuff that you've seen a million times, and there's not really the cheeky counter strat for just the standard solid game.
Yeah, but in the second half, I think there was a few more signs of life out of this Cloud9 squad. They had that streak of 4 or 5 rounds that they managed to win out. But what broke that momentum was Loud managing to pop off in some of these late rounds. And Ospas in particular, once he got the operator in his hands, playing incredibly, Sean.
Yeah, that round right there broke the back of Cloud9, right? The Ospas 1-on-3 outside of B. It looked like Cloud9 had everything in their toolkit to bring this comeback to Loud. But the 10th round right there, to get 11 for Loud, that was so big. And it actually made it so when Cloud9 lost a round after that, they were kind of in shambles. So, yeah, how can you stop someone like Aspas when you don't really have an opera that can retaliate, right? He is the wild card in this series, and that was probably his most impactful round we've seen from him so far. But going into Pearl, we've seen him pop off time and time again on that map.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for that first map on Split, and then for a lot of Ascent, Ospas was straight asleep. And literally, if you saw him on the cam, he was straight up
Partly
asleep.
sleeping.
And then finally, when it mattered at the end of Ascent, just to put the nail in the coffin on that map, he awoke from his slumber and got the 1v3 op moment. And that, yeah, like you said, Sean, that just sealed the deal. It was a wrap from there.
Yeah, and I think besides just Osprey's popping off, Les was fantastic on the site anchoring. A lot of the issues that I was seeing for Cloud9 felt like it was coordination. You're scaling into sites, not finding those trades. It was a tough one for them, but there's still a third map. And this is where I think the series gets super interesting. Loud runs this double controller composition. Over for Cloud9, they were running the Phoenix. I mean, Pearl is going to very much be those cringe comps, Sean.
It will be, and yeah, it's interesting because both of the teams will struggle to find practice against the comp that they're going to be facing. In particular, Loud, which is probably why Loud didn't opt to pick Pearl in this series, because it's very hard to find practice against a Phoenix Sage comp. Cloud9 might be the only team in NA that are running this comp at a high level, so they have a huge advantage in that regard. Where they have a disadvantage, though, is they've run this same comp since lock-in. And there's only so many things you can do with a comp. It has a shelf life. So can Cloud9 innovate and catch Loud off guard here is the true question.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to see now as we're getting into the agent select. I'm going to assume that we're going to see what we've been seeing from these two teams previously on this map. And also with what you're saying, this might be a chance for Loud to basically, you know, give Cloud9 a taste of their own medicine and just be prepared for everything they've been doing on this final map and just win through some counter-strategy. But yeah, again, we have the double controller on the side of Loud, the Phoenix and the Sage on the side of Cloud9. It's the same story we've seen from these teams. It could come a lot down to the prep.
It will come down to the prep, and we can see Cloud9 starting on attack. Something this Harbor comp does really well is aggress on A main, fight for the orb. Something that the Phoenix comp does well on attack, fight for A main and get the orb. I think we're gonna see a lot of battles around that area when we're fighting for the Phoenix ult. And then I also think you're gonna see a lot of A splits come into play, where the Sage Wall is used to get post plants in art. Cloud9 have shown that they love to do that. So I think that is Loud's key focus here.
Well, some excellent ideas for both of these teams, but now it's down to who prepared better, who will close out. It's map number 3, and only one of these teams can go 2-0 in Americas. Let's head down to Vancillion and Rivington for the call.
Thank you, Amy. Indeed, two teams that, you know, they have great coaches. You have MCE from one end for Cloud9, and then you all...
There and the double controller comp is so it could be done. The homework can be done very early coming up to this third map within those two games we just saw. 1-1 here as we enter into map 3 of the series, our first one of the day. We'll see what they have. It's going to be that A push towards the right side. Crystal ball there on the desk for Sean, and we're going to start this little split towards mid.
It's a flash to start things off. Counter flash and first blood from Aspas. Loud just storming in, coming in Loud for sure. Right into A main. As now you force a wall early. He gets instantly broken. Then through the high tide, Aspas gets a kill.
They know.
No lurk to work. And that's gonna be Loud. Coming in big in the pistol right here.
The gambles that teams have played so far on these pistols, I think we've almost had like a huge confrontation on each one. These are really great. I'm gotta have to go back and watch all of these pistol rounds from this series. Really, really tight stuff as the teams just push each other constantly. Call that A play, and now we get the Marshall going over from Aspas towards B. They'll play off a Viper wall, but you can see Les is going to play around the map, so they're really going to be looking to work this util off the ball here and still be able to have Viper defending B with a bit more of that util along with Killjoy. Back to the orb, back to the scene of the crime.
So that got pushed away by the curveball. So that A orb control called up by Sean Garris seems to be game plan, at least for the first few rounds for Cloud9. Les battling across, and it's still going to be Loud across the map. Nice shot by Les.
Flawless.
Now, flawless is actually huge for the economy to continue Loud for Loud into the bonus.
A comfortable cleanup for round 2. Not really have to worry about too much. The 1v1 seemed confident. be serenaded into our bonus round. Man, Phantoms actually... Okay, there are a few Vandals there. I couldn't tell from this far for a moment. I thought they were just going to totally play the wall game here if they tried to work Zelsis up. That's the focus. It's going to be this layered curveball up B to the column and try to push through this defense that Aspas is putting up with a Marshall. Dismiss smoke to get into position, and they're headed out.
Marshall for Aspas, tagged for a bit, forced to fall back. Talked about the wall there. There's a lot of walls here that could be used for C9 to get into this B site. Sage wall available for Rooney, who does have the spike on his back. Blaze wall out from Zelsis to scale up inside the map for C9. And it's fully cleared. You hear the Marshall just ringing, but no contact as we have the first engagement into B link. Nobody damaged out of that one. It's actually Loud that comes out of it more wounded than C9 on a post plant.
Placing swarm grenade.
1v1 battle towards the back. KJ versus KJ. As Les is trying to move forward towards the back of the B halls. It's still Zelsis and Jake forcing the swing out. Who does get 2 for his trouble before Les answers back with 2 of his own. And Sadak's still on this battle up against Leaf, who's changed from the duelist into a Sentinel for this round. A cascade to allow for Loud to push up forward for a bit, who's now down to halfway. Halfway, sticking on to the spike, now off it. Oh, pulls out the knife. There's no more time here. Leaf will come out, and C9 will win the round.
Barely.
It didn't really matter. It just looked a little chaotic because he pulled the knife out. The shot wasn't there, right? Even if he pre-fired.
C9 की इकोनॉमी तो भाई साहब जीतने के बाद भी देखो क्या हो गया बोनस राउंड में तरफ भयंकर फेल
really tight round at the end there. Getting into the site looked a little messy. Like I like the way that Loud was defending, but now this is on C9. They win the round. They use
sub
the
light
wall
shield
to plan.
phantom.
You can't always do that. Now Loud sees that wall go up, they're gonna blast through it and delay the play. So Cloud9's gonna have to keep coming up with different things, maybe position it differently, plant to the far side. But yeah, it's hard to run the same thing over and over when you're trying to take B on this map. The defense changes it up a lot. A orb control once again, run it back is ready. And the operator for Aspas continues to peer down B long here.
Also posted up, potentially using some of Jake's utility.
Run
it back to force a rotate clear. The utility left inside the A site. Meanwhile, though, for Cloud9, falling back towards mid-control at Plaza. Trailblazer here just to try to push him back, and it should still be a split into the A site. But Les is ready for this. Behind Art, falling back. Triple player, crossfire set up inside the A site for Loud. Hot hands onto the ground, first contact, Sadak stops to run it back. Now we're moving in for a plant. Les and Sadak, though, fighting back. So rotation's already coming through from Loud. Cascade onto the front of the A main. Big battle into the front as Les wins that one against Zeppa. Jake peeking out, forcing the bullets out. Aspas forced to fall away from a dash. And a kill through
भाई लेस क्या मार रहा है भाई उनका वाइपर भाई पागल हो गया.
Huge now that the high tide comes out on a retake attempt. Off now, greeted by Aspas. And that's a clean retake by Loud.
Loud ने क्या लेस पागल हो रखा है भाई इसकी वाइपर.
Split second decision making where he almost peeks the corner with a Viper bite, but then
that Viper is fucking just, destroying C9.
Oh my word, just
Les.
the overall play
His name is so weird. Oh,
and to get the 3K here.
Les के हाथ में लिखा हुआ है जय साई राम.
Feel like they are just stuffed for
भगवान हमारे इंडियन सपोर्ट करता है उसको.
Still got a lot of rounds to go. And we'll see if it works this time. Remember, that was the run it back. That was quite a bit of an investment there for C9. So Loud's feeling pretty good after that one. Ultimate for Les is up due to all these frags. 8-1 to start off the game there on the Viper. And he's had a great series all around.
2 flashes used just to gain control of the orb. Focusing on to a res for Rooney instead of picking up Seekers or still trying to build up to run it back on this eco round for C9.
Pimple हो गया नाक पे एक और.
Back over to B. I mean, they got all the time in the world. Why not? A nice little turret watch in mid, backing up Leaf.
High Tide's just well done here for the defense just to run that clock down. Denying just any fast swings out from the doorway. no utility left by the Killjoy towards this B link as C9 decides to push through that.
I wonder if Loud's just not worried
They're
on
going
this
for a
round
A
of
push.
B-Link due to the ecos. We'll have to pay attention to that, but they are playing pretty safe, making sure that, you know, Cloud9 can get the space, feel comfortable, and the retake should be what gains Loud this round. Kalanzine nicely watching the underpass.
Leaf on KJ.
Now, Tui's. You can see everybody backing up just a little bit more, and 30 seconds is there. This is going to be the hit.
Just the timing too, getting the cascades out late. A wall to try to get into a plant on the attack. Rudy, though, lands the headshot.
Spike planted.
Gets immediately get traded off by Aspas, who continues to dance around updraft, and finally Zeppa storms him down.
Nice try,
Picking
mate.
up the op on a 3 versus 1. Stopped by Kalanzine. And Loud are looking unstoppable under defensive half.
Yeah, cheeky little plant there, but like we said, Loud was giving that space up so they could absolutely swarm the site, and that they did. Cloud9 falls quick. They're gonna go ahead and give this to a Seekers. So they're like, okay, Cloud9's being real squirrely right now, all over the map. Which way are they gonna go? They're trying to get Phoenix orbs, so the rounds are long. It'd be really good to have that Seekers up as soon as possible over and over again. So really being able to track this Cloud9 squad helps even more so. 4-1 as we move into round 6. You can see the last two came down to the defuse rounds. So Loud is maybe playing a little bit back on
Deep
choice
जब
here.
भी
They did that round.
duelist खेलता है ना तभी बड़ी मजा आता है.
This guns back for the
I don't
side
like
of
Leaf on
Cloud9.
Sentinel
Operator
controller
very
वगैरह.
ready with a blade storm behind it. So Loud has answers for rounds to come.
Loud guessing a B hit early, so they're placing the KJ utility back towards B. Triple push out towards the A main entrance.
Try
Aspas
PQ.
lands that shot, that Zelsis to fall. And it's telegraphed and just easily done here and stopped by Loud.
Little defensive wall coming in from Tui's there, you can see. All the way across mid, just trying to wall off any pushes or pressure by C9. Slow things down. Little do they know, Cloud9's ready with 4 to get into B, but the util's still there.
Tried to move up for a contact play. C9 did spot Sadak at the top of B heavens. And as they're trying to run through this toxic screen, everybody's getting decayed. Nova Pulse is coming inside the site. Overwhelming C9 on their attempt to hit towards B. Reckoning even on top. And Rooney's gonna have to dance around for a bit. Dink through a wall, and it's looking impossible now. But Rooney has done it before.
30 seconds left.
And he's done it on this very map. A jump spot here, a swing out to the right, and Kalanzine's ready.
Nicely played by Loud. It doesn't seem like they feel pressured at all at this moment. The ability to retake the maps or be prepared, even with the setup they currently have, right? Not rotating too hard, not leaning. As C9's having a hard time making these mid plays or mid lurks really pull Loud out of position. And then how do you start to defend that? The mid-round calls just have to have more information, and Loud is not giving it to Cloud9.
And you can definitely see losing Zelsis at the beginning of the round is a key piece to allow C9 to really get into the back halls.
Right.
Without that, you're trying to run across a full gap off a Sage wall, and you saw how they got picked off one by one.
Yeah, Phoenix makes it to the back hall there, and it's like his playground. You get the flash, you double layer in, and that is the pretty brazen play coming out of Loud. They lose a few members here to the Sheriff, and semi-save coming in from C9.
Oh. Instant res could come out, indeed it will. Nova Pulse in onto the staircase to that fall, forced to fall back from the bottom of Art. Zeppa still trying to chase him down. Does have the Seekers available, finally will use it. So that gets the wall bang. Flash, now hit. Zeppa stops him. A player advantage out for C9. Plat now coming down.
क्या बढ़िया इको पुश
Zeppa
किया
doing everything,
C9 में.
grabbing all that information, and allowed his 2v2 to happen. But an Aspas answers back with a Blade Storm.
अबे यार.
Lands one into the face of Zelsis.
The teamwork is absurd. The timing of it as well. You gotta give them all credit, but to have to shoot the Seeker, but no turnaround. Aspas is there. It's like, I got you, bro. Don't worry. It's just cinematic from Loud to clutch that round as Aspas flies around the corner for a final kill. Less with the ultimate on that.
Nice
Viper's
eco though,
pit.
nice eco,
And we
nice
see
eco.
there is run it back. So
फायदा क्या
Cloud9
उनको
could
एक
be
पैसा
making
देखो
sure
भाई
this run it
साहब.
back gets as close as possible before they're able to activate it. That seems like an art play. Seems like something on long on that A play around the wraparound orb area.
Caralho! Que cagão, hein? Que cagão, não abriu, mano? Não, você tava tunando ele não.
Vibes going on over in the Loud camp right now. Sadak throwing out the fist bumps as they take another round away from Cloud9. We're back to buys here. Like I said, run it back is there. Less's ultimate as well with that Viper's Pit.
Ooh. Contact plays from two different spots.
Nice.
And it's C9 on the advantage as they take art.
They have to be careful behind them. At least get that flank watch before, and if Zelsis activates this, run it back now from the corner.
Probably waiting after this poison to come down, and there you go. Good flash through this too. Wall for a boost to try to spot towards the flower pots. Cascade, but we're giving up the sight for Loud.
Cheeky little peek, Loud again, even on the gun rounds. They stay mostly out of the sight here, realizing that run it back can do quite a bit of damage, and now they go to retake.
Aspas is so far for this flank, and is trying to flank with an operator. Locked down two to delay the clock onto the spike, but Tuiz is still fighting. A nice first kill on a 4 versus 4. Heals then coming out, and after this, Zeppa still watching that flank for now. Rooney staying on top of the boxes, or should I say the wall as it gets broken off, and finally spots Aspas, so that cancels that out.
Jig is up.
Tap onto the spike, fighting through the high tide, but it's definitely looking at a C9 round.
Hot Hands goes out on the spike. No defuse able to come through. Ooh, just hiding. A sliver of life to have. Oh, they dropped the operator. Big money in the bank. Loud fans can rest easy. That one will be purchased again for Aspas, but nice kill there for Rooney to drop that and cause the repurchase to happen. And again, you know, you said Zelsis was such a big part of this there as well. The post plant, Hot Hands denying the plant itself and the overall round starting from a run it back. A round comes through for C9. MC still want to go ahead and chat with the team, making sure they're staying on the right path here, because this could easily be a 6-6 with what we've been seeing, but it's taking the ultimates from C9. It's taking the run it back where Loud is forced to be out of sight first in these gun rounds. So what do they have next? We talked about the Sage Wall. It hasn't really been working since that first round.
Yeah.
They did at B, and now we're gonna see what they get back at A.
Still a very similar storyline for C9 when they faced off against EG last week on this very map. It looked like EG were going to run away with the defensive half, with even the map, until we actually saw C9 play on the defense. And what was one of those key moments, winning factors for Cloud9, is actually how aggressive they were through the smokes that were being thrown out from the harbor being used from EG. Now they have an opportunity to do that versus two controllers, but that's going to be for a later conversation once we get into that second half. What's most important here now for C9 after this timeout is to try to salvage at least 4 more into the total, as we have 4 more to go into, or 3 more to go here into this half.
Just a little safety cushion as they come into the next round. And we haven't really seen them be able to penetrate A in a way that they use the wall to wall left side and continuously take right side sight. They've actually had quite a bit of play coming from Art to try and circumvent what Les is doing. He is just a brick wall in that Art area, honestly, an installment, if you will. Showing off star plays, and he's been so big on the Viper this game. Aspas. Trigger fingers ready.
And even more ready now that he activated the dash. Beside there, Leaf just lurking around behind the controls on top B.
Placing swamp grenade.
As now in this flash, yes, they'll get a bit of information being thrown on the defense for Kawadzine, but no rotates really coming out for the defense. You still think that C9's playing a default.
A cheeky little molly there, coming in from the attack side. Good job by Leaf to really push out B connector, but it's not all happening at once. Everybody takes defensive positions again for Loud. It's a trade on each side.
A rare lurk. Seekers coming out. We don't clear towards the back of the billboard, and unfortunately, a couple of C9 players fall down. The advantage out for Loud, and it's a collat coming out from Aspas.
Solid defense by Loud this time, not giving up an inch of the site. And as we said, the wall goes down. It's instantly shot through this time, stopping the plant, stopping the momentum. They were not going to allow that to happen so easily again. Aspas with a double shot at the end as well. A really clean play around to identify this. Look at that flick. Just the last second. And they play right into the hands there. As we said, it was going to have to be something, C9 coming up with something different.
And it did.
I feel like Loud has seen these looks, and they're able to kind of switch that one up on C9.
That small difference there that came in, a little bit of conditioning from the curveball from Zelsis, yes, towards A, but he was still pulling a lurk towards mid instead. Worked out for a kill, but it's really towards that B site that we were able to engage for Cloud9 to get a plant down. We're trying to look at successful plants for C9 overall from at least what I could think off top of my mind. It hasn't been that successful here for Cloud9.
Collateral smooth था, true.
Low buys, 2 stingers with pistols to engage towards
क्या हो रहा है बेचारे C9 का?
Stopped by a high tide, and the lurk not working out this
Maybe
time
the defense, maybe defense. Who knows?
Nothing's hitting back sight for them. They feel like everybody moved towards the front side, and that was just kind of a dry peek to the back, even though with all that utility used. This is a tight spot here for Rooney. Les is always there to make sure he can lurk the play. Takes it down 8-2 here now for Loud. Commanding even the rounds that Cloud9 are getting, Loud seems to be able to sure up. Aspas with the ult. Seemed like it just took a map to calibrate, right? Maybe the sights were off. Absolutely back on there along with Les. Rooney still fragging out, but you can actually see on the scoreboard it's just coming down to Loud being the better shot right now.
Yeah. On
these plays, holding the defense strong and locking down each one of these sites. Slow play towards A if this is just going to be for the orb. It's enough to focus for Zelsis here to get a quick curveball and pick up. And they decide to kind of go across the map here. We continuously see the wall from 2 East a little bit into this round. That would come across mid. Here it is. Yep. Set up easy and just delays. Delays. Knowing that first set of utility was used, and Cloud9 would take space somewhat with each other, waiting for it to come back up, gain more ground. This wall just kind of pauses that. So when C9 does get that signature utility back up, they're still in mid, looking to take space. The simple things.
Elise at 1 HP. Seeker's going back towards the B link, and that activates an early Viper's Pit for Les, making it even more difficult for C9. And look at the utility from the KJ. It's actually outside of the Viper's Pit to delay and deny all of these plants. A curveball towards the back of the site, though, as Zelsis gets the opener. Jake then also capitalizes on another one. Lockdown then coming out on the defense. A run it back, stopped right away by Aspas. Advantage still comes out here for C9. There's a big flank now from behind. Cowding stopped, traded, saves his teammate. And Jake gets locked in. A 2 versus 1. Sadak then stopped there.
Finally.
Who's come up huge into this round.
Yeah. Didn't matter for the patience of Cloud9. It seems like they like to play in that chaos right now, right? We kind of see how they play the beginning of the maps and pistols. They press W and go forward. I feel like I saw 3 or 4 people pressing W while shooting that round. As we were going back and forth through the smokes, it was just kind of like little drive-bys. Everybody trying to get what they could as they get back into a hiding position. And Cloud9 come out on top because it left Loud looking left, right. What are these angles coming from? On the ultimate that Les tried to put into the site. Didn't matter. Did not really matter. So C9 now focused to the orbs. Zelsis, rinse and repeat. A pickup there with a little help from the squad. And it looks like they're sticking with this beginning strat of a 2 towards shops, 3 towards A. Back off of this, and that's big information to get.
Change of pace for Loud 2, looking to pressure up towards Plaza.
Ooh.
Leaf just sprays it through the nebula. A recall there, and that's 1 player down for Loud as they fall back. You're going to hear all of these footsteps.
कोई B खाली हो गया पूरा.
This
perfect timing for C9 to get into B.
This causes high tide to be used in a different way as well. We see C9 take the path that it's usually blocking almost right away. Oh, but they're hovered now by Loud.
Oh, leave.
For another kill. Lockdown coming through.
8-4 up. Come on, let's go.
In this first half, because you know it was just hanging out towards that B main area pretty much the whole time. But what he needs to activate does so.
5v2. अगर ये हार गए ना फिर तो हद है. अगर ये हारे ये वाला राउंड तो फिर मैं स्ट्रीम बंद कर रहा हूँ. अगर ये राउंड हारे आई एम एंडिंग द स्ट्रीम राइट हियर राइट नाउ. क्योंकि फिर फायदा नहीं है. लाउड जीत गई.
Plays like that, honestly.
Well, a high tide for Reckoning. Just to keep Zelsis away from the back hall's control. But there's just too many numbers to play against here for Loud. There we go, even Rooney lurking from the back. Nice way to end the half though, at least Riv.
मेरे को स्ट्रीम एंड करनी थी वैसे. भाई कहीं ना कहीं मन कर रहा है एंड करने का क्योंकि नींद आ रही है. बट अब आ ही चुके हैं इतना तो कर ही लेता.
It was coming down to individual play with how hard that Loud was holding the sights, and we did have once again Leaf step up and the rest of the team making sure they found Les. Where was the lurk coming from? Because Les was able to do so much that game on just a few members that initially dissected the play itself. We're gonna throw it down to the desk to see what they have to say before we get into the second half.
Thanks very much. Yeah, things got a little better at the end there for Cloud9, scraping together a few rounds. But across the board, Sean, that was Loud looking consistently strong, even when it felt like Cloud9 had the right ideas.
They looked prepped. They looked really prepped to deal with the Phoenix comp, particularly the control on A main. We saw it on the pistol, right off the pistol round. These teams fought for A main, but this eco, I wanted to see Cloud9 challenge the harbor wall. I thought it was important that they increased the variance. And they did such a good job. Look at this. They plow through art. They use the res. Gets the kill on Zeppa, and then Aspis cleans up the last two. And I feel like that round right there was the swing round of the half that Cloud9 just let slip right through their fingers.
Yeah, Loud have just been doing such a great job anchoring these sites. Less specifically, but Tweez in this situation, playing behind screens, it's just not effectively cleared by Cloud9. A lot of the stuff that they would get away with against other teams with the Sage walls, with the Phoenix, is just not working right now. I think Loud are doing a great job just circumventing those Sage walls.
Yeah, Loud's preparation really did show in this one, and this puts Cloud9 in a very, very hard position because they proved at the beginning of this game that they could have the right ideas, that they could prep, that they could fight against one of the best teams, but now they're in this position where, yeah, you've done all that, but you're still on the precipice of losing this series.
You are, but this is their stronger half. I mean, as of last week, right? This is where they got their comeback against EG, this defensive half.
I still think C9 can win. Depends on how they're doing the defense.
It's going to be a lot harder today because the Harbor Viper double comp is going to deny a lot of info. And I think Zelsis is going to have to make some plays through the wall.
Yeah, definitely. And just the way that Loud have been stacking up that utility, all those walls, it's even been tough already for the Phoenix to get value.
Yeah, it has been a really hard one, but we'll have to see. Does Cloud9 have what it takes? Can they recover this one? It's 8-4, maybe a chance, or else it'll be Loud closing this one out as we send it back to the casters for the second half.
Thank you very much, Mimi, and yes,
Sean
Garris brings up a great point. Challenging the high tides, challenging the harbor, something that we talked about as well on that first half in that timeout. That's going to be one of those key winning conditions for Cloud9 into the second half. But with the double controller, can they actually snake bite into like these utility to not allow Zelsis to get these curveballs out?
Well, you get in front of the walls, get in front of any of those smokes, you start rushing right away, Van Silly, as Cloud9 puts the defensive pressure on to stop Loud in their tracks for any initial rush.
I thought इसमें Gecko आएगा.
Felt like Ascent all over again. As after that, Loud cutting noise and looking to just regain control with a contact play back towards B long. Meanwhile, for C9, falling back, dwindling down the numbers here towards B main. There's only Zelsis. Jump spawning one orb now picked up. Trailblazer confirming that there's nobody towards mid. So this is going to initiate the rotate from C9.
Love this wall. Down as soon as they get to back hall. Nicely timed comm by the team. Hot Hands comes out, denies that plant right away.
But Loud denying vision. High Tide and Cascade, a second one coming through towards the spawn. So all that retake capability from C9. Not working too well, but at least the gunshots do. Just heard of that dink from C9 onto Tui's. A fight towards the back of the hall, a jump spot spawning two. And it's C9 over taking the site. Wall coming out to the defuse, and it's looking really good for C9 to win another pistol.
Vans, that has to be one of the trickiest things to hold because the wall gives space. You've used so much util, you don't have as much on pistol rounds, so bodies become the big thing, and C9 pushes through at once with the teamwork. Way too much for Loud to look at there, and they get the flawless, and look at this. Piercing through the wall, same time, 2 different spots. Well, someone on the backside of hallway as well. And then you just swarmed the last person. Calm, cool, collected. Rooney there on the screen, making sure these calls go well for the squad. A flawless to start off second round. Let's see how this plays out with the Marshall in the hands of Aspas. They should be taking that towards B long to see if they can get a quick, effective pick. And just that overall stutter step to give Loud, right? Just say, hey, no rush. You're not going to get out fast. Give us time to set up even more, says CLOUD9.
Torrey 2 wasn't deep enough. It was just trying to clear outside of the deeper smoke that was placed up here by CLOUD9, so you have to jump peek for info. So nice little play here from C9. We'll have to keep an eye on into the later rounds. With this plant attempt coming in towards B main, Jake comes out. Trailblazers stopping the plant from happening. And even with that Nebula, Loud's gonna have to rethink how they want to try to hit this A site, or B site rather, of Pearl.
I kind of like how Loud's play right now. C9 isn't letting it happen, but Loud's like, how far can we get right now? What will you give us? We'll play contact all the way up here on this wall. And yeah, quick peek out obviously denies them much from Jakey. And now this 5v4, it seems like they're just trying to spam it out, and Loud diminishing Cloud9's utility to make this a bit of an easier take in the end. Still gonna be tough.
Prime King, hey dude, अरे Prime, welcome to the stream भाई, कैसा? Streaming this late? हाँ, watch party कर रहे हैं यार उसकी. Watch party कर रहा हूँ. Welcome to the stream भाई. Make sure to like the stream. Subscribe तो तूने कर ही रखा है.
Double flawless.
Ooh, nice, double flawless.
Starting off squeaky clean for Cloud9 here. The silver lining is showing. And we'll see if they can keep this up on the bonus
this is मतलब अभी थोड़ी देर में stream खत्म हो जाएगी. This is the last match है. उसके बाद फिर सोने जाता हूँ, stream खत्म करता हूँ.
But none have to go down to any lesser of a buy. They focus over mostly towards A. I think this is actually just going to be a hold right now.
VCT अमेरिका की जो फाइनल स्ट्रीम होगी, मतलब जो फाइनल फिनाले होगा, उसके लिए मैं फुल रात का स्ट्रीम कर लूँगा, but not right now.
Quick guiding light out towards B. So no detection there. Quick rotation from Zeppa to make sure they hold control of B link.
While he does that, Rooney goes in to support towards Art. The trade-off of utility, high time for a Trailblazer. Some pressure being done towards Plaza from Loud. We're getting ready for a potential curveball soon. Snapping the fingers, there it is, but it's too late. Cowardson gets the kill before it gets full blinded.
The angle of Rooney there needed to be a little bit wider to prevent that from happening.
कौन सी टीम को सपोर्ट करते हो? इस मैच में C9 को वरना वैसे Sentinels.
Liquid's done, or Loud rather, has done so good at just kind of identifying spots that they can fight. We saw the harbor wall flash right through B link. Where Zeppa's standing now didn't come out for a fight. No identification. Move to Art, same thing. Identify with utility to get that opening frag. There's number 2.
Yeah. With no more utility left for Zeppa, you gotta start moving out with your bodies to try to gain that information. Unfortunately, gets punished for it. At least he's playing towards the back of the site. Drops a spike, trying to get that second one, but only has a Spectre to work with. A wall then to block one side, Cascade to push towards the front. No deniability by jumping up on the wall. Plant will come down with 15 seconds left on the clock.
The denial utility from both teams on their post plants or their site takes have been so good, buying so much time.
इनकी सेज ने बॉल बनाई, इनको ही हेल्प कर गई.
Right now, all onto that defuse. Loud keeping Cloud9 at bay.
Onto the wall, and then spawning onto the second one in between the Sage wall. Tweez gets the last kill, and Loud, they don't get denied, they don't get punished into their gun round, and C9 do a bit of damage on their bonus.
They do a bit of. I like the way that Leaf played that there, a little touchy on the spike. Yep, that's me. Fake spike. But yeah, see how they just shadowed each other in that play where if Rooney was playing the angle, the flash is safe, and the curveball goes around the wall anyway. But you can't fault that. It's just a instant timing in the favor of Loud, and they play it well. Setting up fully towards B this time. So I feel like this is actually going to be a hit and wait. Well, we'll see maybe less go back and watch shops after the team gets into position here on their long.
CS2 को try करोगे? पता नहीं, most probably no.
In control here at least of an orb, allowing Sadak to pick up a lockdown and hit towards his B site.
Interesting early wall. So yeah, it's
Who knows by what
position,
future
and
देखते हैं,
honestly, they're
शायद
calling
कल क्या
Cloud9
पता.
over. So it seems to be a full hit. Yeah, Killjoy Utilities behind. The lockdown goes out. We have to see the C9 retaliation.
This might be a time. Oh, okay.
Predicted.
Down B.
Spike Elise falls long range. Attempt to get picked up. But there's still both controllers alive here for Loud. So we can re-engage into the site. The spike goes down. Planet for Belong. Thanks to the Cove placed down behind by Tui's. Long range battles. All four players are now falling back towards Belong for Loud to play the pulse plant. Sage wall up, trying to get the res. Nobody's really sticking onto that spike. Finally, we do so. Jake's sticking onto that one right now. It's back to halfway.
lol.
They're gonna get it.
कैसे? Ninja diffuse कर गया.
No way. Not a single person on the side of Loud was able to hit the shot that needed to be hit on the person. Oh my God. That was incredible by Cloud9 to basically act one as meat shields and two use the utility necessary. There was so much praise for Loud to start this off. The early prediction, Molly, knowing Zelsis would try to come around the corner and make a play with a flash right away, huge from Loud. And still, with the kills coming through, the defuse happens for Cloud9. Ninja one in their favor. 9-7 here as Cloud9 starts to close the gap. That bonus round still very painful for them. So you see the buy is down. Sadak starts off with a great phantom headshot.
Even more painful. Again, fighting for the A-Orb through the Nebula. Kill onto Zelsis. And this is still an opportunity to switch the momentum for Loud.
Wow. Trailblazer and W's from everybody forward. They get down Jake, and now they're in B before minutes even gone, or 40's even gone in the round.
Yeah, we mentioned the lower buy here that we have for Cloud9.
Yeah, so Loud has to go for the throw.
Yep. The plant comes in. Alert now coming out from Aspis. Just trying to build up that Blade Storm. Sadak spots at least one.
One shot.
Placing swarm grenade.
One opportunity.
One enemy remaining.
Well, at least Rune is there. Can you actually land that shot that we wanted? Not gonna happen. Loud taking a lead by 3 as the economy finally comes back for C9 on the defense.
Feel something over there. Can't place it. Like us.
No operators really coming into play here. I think we see that both teams do not want to play to that flow. It's a little too slow. The retakes aren't as effective. I mean, obviously it can be great, but it slows you down. So rifles all around, Blade Storm coming up, and a lot of ults to be used this round.
Yeah, I think it's also with that double controller that you have on the attack for Loud. You're really splitting out the sights on the take.
True.
So you're blocking your own vision too if you want to bring out the operator.
Yeah.
So leveraging Aspas for the space creation, the fight back towards B main. And Zelsis finally lands that shot. Got information on more.
Get out of here. I like this. They back up and Rooney's like, heal yourself. I'm not healing you. Probably see that in a second.
Could do that with a running back anyways.
Yeah, that's true. Now the running back can be used, so you get the full HP on that on play. A big focus here. Gamble from Cloud9 is actually leaning back towards A here. Sadak drops Rooney. So that could really sort things out for the defensive side. 4v4. 1 minute left.
Fight the high tide, force out to run it back. Zels is getting all of this information, while Les does not hear anybody else moving through the high tide. All of Loud rotating back through the spawn. They're gonna be met up with least utility towards the B site.
I feel like it's a marathon fake when you're doing it on Pearl. You're just, and now we get to fake. This rotation took forever. Here they go though. They are gonna be running into the Killjoy utility, but they have gambled the numbers correctly. And Loud look to take this round.
But there's a late lurk coming out here from Les the whole time towards Art. The Reckoning just to clear out the site for Loud, looking for this plant.
Counting.
Leaf unfortunately falls. As here comes the high tide, even a cove, not allowing any sprays to happen. And there's that lurk coming out from Les, who gets that second one onto Zeppa. And it's up to Zelsis, healing up with a blaze wall. CLOUD9 with 5 HP. Zelsis has no utility left to work with. Triangle formation for Loud on the pulse plant.
Doing what he can now.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Reckoning pushing CLOUD9 out of sight here really gave the space Loud needed. Nothing much to be done after that. You have Les again coming around on a flank. It did so much in art last time. I think Les is just in a mode right now where going to be flanking, going to be lurking at any time possible, and the team has to be ready for it. I don't know if in that chaos too, they were able to identify that they saw Les or didn't because of how tight these moments are. That little bit of miscommunication can mean it all, and Les's perfect flanks. So we get a timeout here called by CLOUD9. At this point, I think it's just wait and see. Loud's playing it a little bit slower. On the round where CLOUD9 was a low buy, we did see Loud go fast, but they're still respecting where to find, I think, like Zelsis in the initial utility of him being able to flash them out of the site, because that's really a lot of what Loud has to be worried about, is when those frags come through. You can easily identify the KJ, where that's set up, it's not moving too much, but a floating Zelsis becomes a bit of a problem, especially when it gets a lot of ultimates.
And that's why, like, even for Loud, it's 3 players on A main ready to fight against that orb.
Exactly.
So yeah, the conditioning. I know we always talk about CLOUD9 really good on these individual duels, the aggression that they could play, but this is still Loud that we're talking about here. They're also a team that's very comfortable to fight back, not afraid of the engagement, having 3 players there to fight towards the area, to not allow Zelsis to get the max out of the orb potential that he could pick up here towards A main.
And overall, even the one play we saw, it was Sadak kind of throwing out the early mollies from Killjoy to stop Zelsis on the retakes. They have watched what this Phoenix does, so they're quite aware of again how much he wants the orb, how much they're going to try to be making plays through art if maybe A or B isn't working. They have an idea. 11-7 here, as Loud takes a pretty big lead in the third map and continue to stop CLOUD9 on their 1-round wins, which makes it even harder to buy because the money keeps getting knocked down in the economy for C9.
Okay, you open things up with Rooney, Marshall in the dome of CLOUD9, and slow through the smoke. Aspas to fall, Cascade to clear up the site. Zeppa just dancing around inside, trying to do a play off the guided light that he just did for himself, but gets punished right away. Zelsis onto a big flank. I don't even think that Sadak's in a range here of this alarm bot, so a perfect opportunity for that flank to happen. A battle towards Flower Pot. Almost getting caught into Cosmic Divide, to Astroform, should I say.
One enemy remaining.
As now, unfortunately, as it worked in the beginning for Rooney with that Marshall, Loud just watched all of their angles on the post plant.
अरे भाई बोला तो वॉच पार्टी और तू तो बेटा गांड मुड़ा तेरे लिए आधे घंटे वेट करे और उसके बाद कॉल कट करे जा रहा साला.
And honestly, just fighting out that first A area, once they realized there was a Marshall back of sight, you can worry a little less about Rooney, but once you close the gap, you know the fight is in the favor of the rifles. And okay, Sadak just parkouring around A to make sure they get those frags. We see Fraud very happy on the screen as their team now won.
बिजी हो गया था तो बता देता ताकि हम खेल लेते, हम तेरे लिए वेट कर रहे थे. बता देता है, ये तो कौन बोलता है कि बिजी हो रखा है, तो मना नहीं करा भाई, बिजी हो जाओ. लेकिन बता तो दे बिजी है. लाउड जीत गया वैसे, तो स्ट्रीम तो खत्म होने वाली है थोड़ी देर में. लाइक कर दे स्ट्रीम शिव केला. Make sure to like this stream.
This is potentially one of the last hurrahs for C9 in the series. Loud scaling up towards art.
वो भी मल्टीपल आईडी से कर बेटा, लाइक मल्टीपल आईडी से.
From Zeppa to spot nothing here towards the art.
Extremities held. I mean, if you're gonna do one thing, start pushing out the outsides of the map. That's gonna be less taking down Zelsis, though. Just aware of the corners, checking everything.
Yeah. Waited for that the whole time. Yes, Rooney picks up a Nora, but that res is going to be impossible. But with that first pick, Loud leaning out towards this B site. Lots of utilities available. This is a lockdown to Viper's Pit to seal the deal. So you're going to have to hope that the whole W for C9 to attack back is going to work in their favor. Even harder now that Jake falls. Here it comes. Aspas landing that shot with the operator.
Double hit.
Pushed up is going to be Kalazine just around the corner. There's that Viper Pit. The lean out, Jake falls. Zeppa looking to trade it out. It's up to him and Rooney on a 4 versus 2. Bladestorm also available. Held inside just by the screens outside of the Viper's Pit. Elite Zeppa gets the wallbang kill. A tap onto the spike, but footsteps are just heard left and right. Then the pit's about to fall. But then the backstab Zeppa to get 3. A 2 versus 1, not gonna happen. Aspas gets that one. Loud. Landing another L onto Cloud9 this time.
Seizing the moment. Taking every opportunity, as you said before, Vans. What a game in the end. Cloud9 showing up, but Loud in the end. As it came to, we look at those games and it came from everybody. Aspas, the operator, came online. Tui's on a lot of the plays. Sadak on a lot of the setups. And overall, we look back at Ascent. We look back at
Okay, हार गए भाई, हार गए. C9. Nice try, nice try, nice try. Not that bad, to be honest. मतलब ठीक ही ट्राई था यार, अच्छा था, बुरा नहीं था. है ना? चलो, chat. I'm gonna end the stream right here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye. Sayonara, Naraswara. कल मिलेंगे फिर दोबारा. Peace, love you. No homo. कल एक और है. Watch party. Sentinels. Bye bye.